Hey, Skuro. Get the order wrong. All right. Hello, everybody. I've gotten the okay to show off the preview build. So we're checking out, I've got the patch notes here, as well as the preview build up. We can see what's coming on Tuesday. Poke around a little bit. Let me know if there's anything you want to see in particular. We'll do a big general overview at the top here and send people back to the VOD. Yeah, Skuro, we got a new sponsor up to pre-charge the subathon. Roblox. It's a very easy ask for the free-to-play too. You just got to install it and play for 15 minutes. It'll add 15 minutes to the subathon. So you can pre-charge it that way. And then there's 3 purchase options that are scrolling by there too. And one of them is absolutely insane. They're all force multipliers. They're all better than tipping me directly. And the middle one I think costs $10. And it's about the same as like 20 or 25 gift subs. So like it's absolutely insane force multiplier. So it's a really good sponsor for the subathon, because it's the free to play people just have to play for 15 minutes. Check out Roblox, and then anyone who wants to tip me and support the subathon, you can do it through the game and just get insane extra value. At least the first 40 people can. Yeah, the $10 one, 800 Roblox is the sweetest one. The other ones are still better than tipping me directly, but like you could like, yeah, the $10 one is actually just like flat better than the more expensive one for some reason. Hey, Leafy, but the more expensive one is still better than tipping, and you can only do one of each. So we'll see how people end up using it. But you can see down below the stream in the little doobly doo. There's an actual breakdown of the minutes. But talking about the sponsor, it gives us a little bit of time for more people to show up before we dive into the preview. And the patch notes.
Never mind the maneuvers. Just go straight at
Who do we got here? We got Skuro and Cobblestorm and Leafy and Italians. Good to see everybody showing up for second stream today. These links don't work, but I've got the text version. At least version 1 of the patch. Skuro, thank you for playing for 15 minutes. Apparently, we've discovered that the it doesn't know how to count to 15 minutes. It seems to be install. Maybe it's assuming the 15 minutes will happen. I don't. Sure doesn't feel like 15 minutes passed since you found out about it. Thanks for checking out the sponsor game, though. Appreciate you giving me a tip with your time. All right, let's go. There's a lot to poke around in. Let's go to the patch notes and work our way down, and we can go back to the game. So, Core Team. Core Team. We'll have to go to the Blood Pass. Unlock it here. Looks like there's some warp stone on my alpha account. There we go. Corn's unlocked. Let's take a quick roll through here. Cosmetics. Cheerleader stand. I don't think the cheerleaders of the pitch came back. Just cosmetics. Handful of warpstone. Same formula as last time, I think. There's a coach zone, bunch of skulls. Flamey dice. Prophet of the Blood God. The Blood Spawn's a pretty sweet looking big guy. There's a legendary. That's a lot of flames. It's like a punching weapon. That probably saves them work, because like if the animation is punching, it works with this weapon too. You don't have to do another weapon swing or whatever. Oh yeah, he's already got like a brass knuckles or whatever. You thought it comes out Tuesday? This is the alpha version, the alpha server that I've got the devs' blessings to go preview, and I've got patch notes top deck. All right, we'll dive deeper into the Khorne team later, but let's see what else we got. Eternal League is now available. That's the single player mode. Doesn't particularly apply to me, but you know, some people will be happy for it, and it's a good way to onboard people who just wander into Blood Bowl from Steam instead of having a friend teach them through tabletop or whatever. Redraft is in. New community event, Bloodthirster Challenge. We can check that out. Okay, rules. Gods of Chaos face off in a competition based on pure violence. Spill the blood of your opponents and defeat them to show your devotion to your favorite god. Select a team from the preset templates available and join the pitch. Check out the event quests for unique rewards. Permanent objectives. 200 points for victories. Permanent objectives implies they'll be like weekly different things. So 200 for a victory, 80 points for a draw, 30 points for casualty, 50 points for a kill. Skulls for the skull throne. KOs give you 10 points. It's a murder event. It'll be a good way to preview the team for sure. Some people like these modes. Legendary award in the colors of the corresponding god of chaos will be distributed to the supporters of the victorious god who have played at least 3 matches, as well as the top 500 of the defeated god. Okay, you can just play 3 matches of both. If I'm reading that right. Unless there's 2 legendaries. Maybe there's 2 legendaries. If Nurgle wins, everyone who played 3 Nurgle games gets it. And the top 500 Khorne get the Khorne one. I'm not quite sure how to interpret that. Then there's a bunch of pre-made teams here. Chaos Renegades, other Chaos, and other Chaos Renegades. Nurgle, Khorne, and then Lizards and Orcs and Norse and Dark Elves. What's the Khorne build look like? Got the same problem as last time. You have to register the team to look at it. Skitter on the Khorne team? That's so much frenzy. There's so much frenzy on this team. Only one Khorne Gore. First time I've seen a Khorne Gore. Looks a lot like a Beastman. Looks a lot like a Beastman. Alizos, thank you for the raid. We're checking out the preview build here for Season 9. Sneak peek for next week. Hey, Bobbin Slayer. The only god that always wins is Nuffle. Forget Nuffle. You bought the 800 Robux, Skuro? Nice. Hopefully it pops up soon. You're the first one to do it. Let me actually let me make note. So with these things, if they haven't gone through before, they've been really good about me putting tickets in. So screw, we've got 800 this way. Make a chart. Install. I think it's 400, 800, and 1600. Oop, oop. We will track this one. It makes you sad every time I open Notepad. That's fair. Yeah, I have a Notepad++. I mean, I have it installed. I just don't like it. Too big. Look at all these bars and everything. And stuff popping up. I don't want all this crap. Ah. There's stuff everywhere. I thought for a second this thing started with claws, but this is the pre-built teams. It starts with Juggernaut though, right? Horns and Juggernaut. All right, there's a lot of teams to go through. We could do that if people want later, but let's keep going through the patch notes for now. My other notepad. All right, new community event. That'll be a great way for people to preview Corrin without buying it. Underworld Desert and Pitch are now available. The pitch rules are now available. Meh. All right, redraft is enabled in the Season 9 ladder. Teams will have to redraft every 20 matches with a budget cap of 1.3 million. No TV cap. The matchmaking getting revamped is good. I don't know how big this gets. I have no idea how big this gets. 20 games. If we can find any more in here. 1.3 plus 20 games. Like, we just did an Amazon sprint, and it's a freaking tiny team. Like, there's a bunch of things with 2 level ups. I don't think I have anything with 3 level ups in 20 games played. So the concession problem, like, also kind of suppresses your team. Parameters? Summary? I guess I don't have this filled in for the preview build. There's still a max set, but that's just the preview environment. They'll have to do this again on the main server anyway. Oh, there's a redraft section. Oh, there's pop-ups. Start redraft. Immediately triggers the redraft for all teams. Teams currently playing a match will have to perform the redraft at the end of the match. Note that manually triggering the redraft does not reset the number of matches per redraft if this setting is activated. So this is the way redraft is more meant to be played. Your whole league redrafts at once, not... Because I'm still really worried, like, you're going to do your redraft and then get matched against somebody who's about to do the redraft, and it's just going to be so so depressing when that happens. There's no TV cap, but a 1.3 million redraft budget. Yeah, you'd have to. Like, you're not going to get over 2 million. you don't really need one. Redraft budget. Set a maximum redraft budget. Setting a limit reduces the gap in team value between participants after the redraft. By default, each team has a redraft budget of 1 million coins. Each match played by the team grants an additional 400,000 for win, 300,000 for tie, 40,000 for win, 30,000 for tie, 20,000 for a loss. So I wonder if that tooltip actually, like, I don't know how redraft works. I don't have a rule book. I don't play tabletop. So is it going to be 1.3 million plus this, or is it just 1.3 million for everybody? I guess when you create a league, maybe you can pick a number or just default. It does say by default, and then it lists a bunch of rules. But like 20 times 20 is a lot, right? Oops. Not zero. It's another 400,000. So they actually made it lower by putting it to 1.3. There's no way it's actually between 1.7 and 2.1. It would be interesting, the fact that like getting wins gives you more money to redraft with. But it doesn't seem like that's the way it will actually work. Number of matches before redraft. Automatically trigger the redraft each time a team has played a set number of matches since the last redraft in the competition. If the fixtures in the competition are played in several rounds, best of 3, best of 5, each fixture will count as a single match for the redraft. Oh, best of 3 is just one match. Let's go full screen mode over here, actually. Normally you do get bonuses for winning the league or games played in playoffs. That sounds about right. It's gotta be 1.3 flat. Not, it can't have the bonuses. Yeah. Curious about the star players. We can check that out. Players get more expensive to redraft each season. Yeah. So you do end up needing more than 1.3 million to redraft a 1.3k team. Even I think the first time you buy them back, they actually cost 20k extra. 20k extra per season they've played, I think. We talked about it this afternoon in the morning stream, and they apparently it doesn't add to your team value. So your star player will get more and more expensive to buy with your redraft budget. But once you've gotten through redraft, it doesn't like inflate your team's team value for inducements and matchmaking purposes. Hey, Red Bad. Hey, Doc Hill Power. All right, let's check out the star players. You guys could feel free to request what you want me to poke around and see. Testcorn. I guess we'll make it a custom team. No, we're just poking around. Are the patch notes available somewhere? Here! You can grab a screenshot if you want. There's a little bit more down below. I don't think they've published them yet, but they told me I can talk about it on stream. It's a pretty small font, too. Beep, 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 beep. You only have to rebuy your players, not your rerolls? Oh, that saves some money. You don't have to rebuy the reroll and the apothecary and that stuff. We could maybe we can make a redraft happen and see how the game's doing it too, because it might be different than tabletop. What about the bank you have? Can you spend the bank you have on top of the 1.3 million? It's nice for you who only gets to play a handful of games each season. Then you like it happens every 20 games. Like, I guess it protects you from a monstrous team, but do you find the matchmaker actually goofs and makes you play that a lot? It sure made my Amazons play their game 17 against 72 game dwarves earlier. One of the patch notes we already looked at was actually the matchmaking system has been revamped. So they never officially told us how this one works. I don't think we'll get any more out of them than this, but hopefully We don't get absurd mismatches anymore. Do we just have to guess how tabletop works? I think, yeah, it kind of looks like, I don't know, maybe that's my job as a streamer. I have to go make a YouTube video on what the frick redraft is. Tabletop players know.
Yeah, I'm free.
All right, star players. That's what we gave. That's what we made the team for.
Ballin'.
Oh, like, yeah, it kills high TV Blood Bowl for sure. It kills the dream of building the chaos teams like we had this season. Patch notes say a cap of 1.3. Oh, okay, so you have to earn it through those wins. 20 losses was higher than the cap. TV cap. TV cap disabled. Budget cap of 1.3. Oh, Quentin's saying there'll be a like an article up for redraft. That's good. Redraft news will be published before the new season. Dungeons is the OP team or dwarves, yeah, or undead. I mean, it's different. I mean, arguably, I'm an underworld coach now. Okay, star players. Star players. Oh, it moved. That's why it took me so long to find it. All right, what do we got? Borak, we already had him. We already had him. We already had him. We already had Skitter. We already had. We already had that. We already had that. Okay, no new star players. I guess we could poke around at all the other teams. You'd think the new star players would have been corn star players. We didn't get the acorn, the little one strength claw with Dauntless. Maybe they'll match Mask and Sea players against each other. Yeah, that'd be a nice revamp. Skitter's name is fixed. You get to do the first redraft without any increase in price. That's good. You saw the Scylla art on one of the other screens? Is that like this guy? Or is it in the event? That's the blood spawn, I think. It's a red demon dude. Is it on one of these? That looks like it might be what you're talking about. It looks like a red demon dude. But that's just... That looks like the Corn chainsaw too. So I would say that's just some assets that some designer fired up here. All right, what's next here? Matchmaking revamp. We can't dive into that. We could do a redraft. We'll save that for after we go through the patch notes, though. We'll set up a competition if I have to and hit the redraft button. New tiering for Arena. Try to win 7 matches. So that's the same. Second defeat or third draw, you're out. So they left draws. I was not a fan of my 1 arena run this season ending in 3 draws. 6 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss. I don't like that. I am more allergic than draws than most Blood Bowl players. There's a lot more tiers now. Weren't there only like 4 tiers before? Amazon's Shambling Dead, 6 skills, 1.1. Dark Elves Lizards get 50k more, but no more skills. Just more to spend. Lizards are pretty expensive, that's probably why. So tier 1 and 2 are kind of just tier 1 and 1.5. Tier 6 Black Orcs? Black Orcs actually get a star player? Okay, Black Orcs might be sick. Because Goblins and Halflings were the only things that could get stars before. There is a banned list, though. Griff is banned. Morg, Heckflim, Creek, Skitter, Cindy, Bomber, Gerbil Alright. What stars do we got for Black Orcs? When's the start of the season? Tuesday. So it's still a few days away. Top Tech, you put a picture of your Celia model in my Discord? Okay. I gotta focus here. All right, you can't take Bomber. I think Ripper was fine. Expensive. Might be hard to fit in the team. The Black Gobbo? So expensive. Fungus Among Us. Fungus Black Orcs? Fungus Black Orcs in the arena. Varg, I don't think was banned. Morg was banned. Fungus is dirt cheap. So like trivial to get Fungus on the team. Varg might be like you don't get your troll. Migs? What's a Migs? 4 strength. Oh, this is the thing that can leap. Once per game when using the leap skill, this player may choose to modify the dice roll during the agility test by adding to it his strength. You're plus 4 to your leap. It will probably work. It will probably be a 2+, but you're doing it with a loner, so yeah, good luck. It's also got break tackle. Yeah, once per game cage dive. And it's a claw piece, yeah. There's definitely some good options depending on who you're playing against, but I guess in the arena you have to pick ahead of time, which is where the Black Gobbo comes in. It's got use against a lot of different things. Back to the arena rules. Distracted by the Black Orcs. They also get 8 primaries, 3 secondaries, and 1.21 to start the team. So like those 200,000 cost the star players are kind of paid for just by the overage compared to making a ladder team. You have to give up a little bit for some of the more expensive ones, but if you want the 80k ball and chain, like you get bribes too. So you can take like the ball and chain, a bribe, and the biased ref, and probably all of the positionals. All right, what else do we got here? So the actual next tier, you go up to 7 skills for dwarves, humans, necro, Norse, orcs, Skaven, wood elves. That's a big tier. It's a big tier. I'm definitely not an expert in evaluating this kind of play. It's very, very similar to tabletop, so you guys will be able to tell better than me which ones stand out as being, well, I can tell the Black Orcs are, they are not as bad as Goblins and Halflings. Underworld Denizens is way down here. Are they that bad after the swarming nerf? Underworld get 8 skills, 2 secondaries, 1.2 million. Like, you can't get a star, but you just get everything else, including biased ref, double bribe. Varg Black Orcs would be pretty strong, yeah. Dwarves feel like they're a bit low. In my experience, dwarves weren't actually that great in the arena. Like, only 1 skill in each dwarf felt kind of icky. Ball and chain plus loads of grab sounds really good. Set him up and knock him down. Everything up here are the most popular ladder races. Which the arena, you see a much bigger variety of opponents because of the tiering, right? Like OWA down here in tier 5 too. Chaos and Nurgle, I felt like it just feels really bad because you can only put one skill on them. Chaos and Nurgle are like the blank slates. You can build an amazing team out of them, but without being able to stack skills. I don't think they're very competitive. OWA doesn't have that problem though. They actually start with skills, so you get to stack the learned skill on top of your guard or on your block and everything. Yeah, are OWA really that much worse than Nobility? You get a whole nother secondary. Only 20k more, but a whole nother secondary is huge. Horde got flopped in tier 4 here. Elven Union actually getting a secondary. I don't know if they're that much worse than Wood Elves. 10 skill corn. 9 skill corn. 9 mighty blow. That's what you do on Black Orcs. It's good, right? Draw people into other teams. Yeah. The balancing is good. I think you just kind of play whatever team you want, and not being worried you're just way behind is good. But like they missed the mark with Chaos and Nurgle. I think are still awful. Goblins and Halflings have not been very competitive either. Are Wood Elves in the same tier? They're tier 3. They broke it apart into more tiers. So it's hard to say that anybody's in the same tier. They get 7 primaries. 1.16. 1160k. Underworld needs to be tier 6. Like, let them get the black combo. Necro used to have 7 primary, a secondary at 1.17. So Necro got nerfed. They're shaking it up. They're shaking it up. All right, what's next on the patch notes? Okay, major AI update. Hopefully that is it blunders a lot less, like horrible blunders, like forgetting the ball or clicking a skull instead of the POW. Adding rules options for friendly matches. All right, well that's cryptic. Play, friendly match, hot seat, match settings. Ooh, hello. This is new. Use pitch rules. Why can't I pick the other pitches? No inducement phase. Unlocalized tooltip. Well, you'd have to just have your team use team's pitch, I guess. And then turn the pitch rules on. You can lock in perfect weather. No kickoff event. No prayer to Nuffle. Exhibition prayer to Nuffle. What that is there's a smaller prayer to Nuffle table that doesn't do like the SPP gain things. Particularly for modes like arena mode where there's no progression. So like getting 3 SPP on an injury is literally a blank. So there's a special table where you don't have those things. And a couple other ones are kicked off too. I couldn't tell you which ones. Is it like, is Blitz not on it? Is it more competitive? All other pitches are unlocks and my preview account's level 0. Yep. So as you level up your account, you're unlocking all the other pitches. But yeah, Quentin confirmed that. My preview account is crappy. Extra time. Overtime. That must be overtime. That's kind of cool. I don't know how much you saw get out of it, but it's good that it's there. Added the possibility to change the grid's colors and thickness. Oh, we're gonna have to get into it. Get into that friendly game. See how this looks. Default team. Corn team. Corn team. Against other, more different corn team. Hey! Thank you for checking out the sponsor game, Mr. Rocker Crocker. That Roblox purchase never came through yet. That Skuro did. So a half hour ago, we got the install. Maybe you have to do the 15 minutes of play. Like, actually. for the purchase to go through. The Skull Tribe Slaughterers. Okay, let's turn the clock off. Here, turn the pitch vents on. Your desire to support me outranks your dislike of Roblox. You just have to play for 15 minutes. I apologize if you get hooked on it. Apparently Roblox is very much just like Warcraft 3 use map settings. Like there's tower defense games. Which is what I plan to do for most of the 2 hours that I'm going to play it for the sponsor segment. That and play with you guys, if we can do that. Like Tuesday while the Blibble servers are down. That will probably be what happens. You thought extra time meant for the clock? There was a separate selection for the clock. Nerf your kids play Roblox? There's some crazy stuff that the kids / people make out there. It's nuts. Yeah. Like when you give people a sandbox and like easy scripting to like create a video game, which is what Warcraft 3 use map settings did. It's kind of crazy what can come out of it. Like whole genres of video games, MOBAs and tower defenses and auto battlers. Like so much came from enabling just general people to make a game. You kick kids off your esports team because they play too much Roblox? Extra time is literally overtime in Freedom English. Canadian English is free too. We just do a hybrid. There's no star players in here either. Oh, this team's a lot worse than the other team. Grab a Borat. We're here just to look at the grid lines. You like the core cheerleaders? Oh, I didn't notice them. I was reading chat. Well, I don't like the default new grid lines. Possibly just because it's different. Those aren't corn. Yeah, those are just chaos cheerleaders. Maybe the other team's got the corn one? No, those are also in the game already. Chaos apparently have two. One of them's renegades and one of them's chaos. Chosen. Okay, what do we got for grid down here? I probably have to go to the menu to change. Well, not graphics, probably game readability. Slider, grid opacity, and grid thickness. All right, so we get to play around with it. Let's go extreme. Well, you're free to set it that far if you want. You would know you're watching Mr. Page if you saw this in a preview, if you made a little preview thumbnail. Oh, Mrs. Page, or Mr. Page's playing. Holy crap, the blood spawn's great. Look at that guy. I've been distracted. Okay, let's see if there's a more reasonable place to put these. White grid. Lock the match modifiers window. What does that do? I don't know what match modifiers are. I locked the window, whatever it is. This is a lot worse. Okay, enough of the extreme. That might actually be good for somebody with like vision issues or something. What about thick but see-through is not the worst. Oops. Almost conceded. Oh, we got a raid. Coach Fez, thank you for the raid. Appreciate you picking me as your raid target. We are poking around in the preview build for the patch coming next week on Tuesday. Turn white grid back off. You know, thick but transparent might actually be kind of the ticket. There's going to have to be a lot of playing around to get these. Oh, I almost did it again. To get these settings right. But thin, but solid. Super thin is, I assume, just not even visible. Yeah, they do let you go all the way. You just barely turn it on. Oh, I get little pencil lines. And that's non-transparent. It's actually like the freedom to pick is kind of nice. I think as a community, we're gonna have to figure out what the good one is. Yeah, you might have to play around with it too on different pitches. We have a special pitch. Nope, the override wasn't on. This is actually, yeah, I kind of like this. You zoom out and it gets a little too thin. What if we like double it? Manage your title format, masculine, feminine. That new? I feel like that's new. Double the thickness. It's not bad. I feel like it's a little distracting though. I think the way I liked it more was like thick but transparent. What's that green skill icon? We didn't get that in the patch notes yet, but that's Ironheart skin. They redid Ironheart skin and defensive. You like this, but maybe a little more transparent. That might be kind of close to what we have now. This feels okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, it matters more for the French language. Gotcha. Le and la. Can I show it again? I can. Which one? You'll have to be more specific. The icon. It's no longer claws. It's just a buff guy. Do any of these teams have defensive? The new defensive is just, it's still a shield, it's just more cracked. There's not on this team. Be nice if you could customize it on a per pitch basis. Yeah, but I think we could probably get used to what we like. And you could always go to the default human pitch too. Right, you wanted this in white? Nope, I hate the white. I hate the white a lot. I don't think there's going to be any white setting I like, at least on the human pitch. Nope, do not like. Who are the new stars? None. There were no new corn stars. I didn't poke around in every option, but you would assume they would be corn, and there's none in the patch notes either. Oops. Okay, I think I keep going to the wrong menus. I think I liked it thick and very transparent. Oh, but not white. Nope, not white. I kind of like that. It's like the circles. If I can get the circles to fit perfectly, we got to shrink it a tiny bit. We need that circle to perfectly fit. More. Oh, God damn it, I keep hitting the wrong freaking button there. Or it's close. Does everybody circle the same size? More. just a nudge. When I select them, it goes off. I think that might be it. We might be perfectly lined up. Ooh, Roblox sponsorship. All right, so Coach Fez, I picked Roblox because it's like the best sponsorship to support the subathon by far. The free-to-play version, like the free-to-play goal is just install the game and play for 15 minutes. And that's it. Pretty easy. And if you do that, you add 15 minutes to the subathon. And then on top of that, there's 3 purchasing versions. And if you buy the 800 Roblox pack, the middle one, that's about $10. And it's roughly the same as gifting like 20 or 25 subs. Like it is an insane multiplier. So, well, I agree. Roblox wasn't the game I would maybe have wanted to play by default, but I'm open to being pleasantly surprised. I held off on trying Minecraft forever. Me and Mrs. Page played Minecraft together and enjoyed it a ton. And she got hooked on it. She played so much Minecraft. And I think Roblox might be a pleasant surprise too. And we'll do lobbies together too. Particularly on Tuesday, the subathon day when the servers are down, I'll do Roblox to kill time. We can play together. All right, anyway, there's not much point in getting it perfect because this is the test account anyway. I guess we'll leave the game up, so there might be something else in game to poke at next. New Ironheart skin and defensive icons. We'll take a look at the defensive one when we get back out of this game. The erratas for tentacle, helmet, and hit and run are all in. Good. What's helmets? He fails his old pro star player special rule roll. He may attempt to use it on a later turn. Oh, so you could use pro to reroll one of the armor dice. So if you fail the pro, it doesn't consume the once per game. Strange, but all right. Hey, Duke, I'm in the preview build. Competitions, add a button to create a team when trying to register in a competition. That's just like when you're in the arena screen, there's a create team button right there. Saves you a couple clicks. Added a shortcut in competition summary to inspect opponent's team. I don't know if I've ever seen a competition summary. Is that at the end of a competition? Strange. Whatever. Team management. Inducement tab has been moved. Yep. It did on me. Added a new way to order teams by most recently used. The team screen. Handy. Added icon for team special rules and team management. All right, let's get out of the game and go find the icon. Whatever this special rules icon is too. Defensive and that one. The hit and run change is good, yeah. We were talking about why did I start running out of time more lately, and it might actually be the stupid hit and run animations. I realized that when I was reading the patch notes earlier. It's like, man, the hit and run animations burn like 5 seconds off of your clock every time you throw a hit with one of those. Does it mention chainsaw during Blitz kickoff event? I think known issues that might be there. Special actions may not be used during the Blitz kickoff event. May 2025 errata. But that's in known issues, so I don't know if you can or cannot do it. Which way is broken? All right, let's find a defensive player. Should be able to just get to anybody's leveling up screen. Sure, defensive goblin. There's the new icon. Put the gold next to, or the guard next to it to contrast. I never really had a problem with the old defensive, but it does stand out a little more. There's a couple little shards flying off it. It's a different silhouette. It's important for icon design. I don't think you'll have a hard time identifying it, even if you're colorblind. Mm-hmm. Nuke, you're done for the season, you think? Tried to play your chaos a bit more. You played against a Nurgle who got to induce Borat. Ooh. Skaven with Wizard beat you too. And your Qualts calls against Dwarfs off. That's a rough 3 games. Conceded, and it's had enough Blood Bowl for this season. New season's around the corner. Oh, here's the special rules icons. Badland Brawler. Your team is part of Badland Brawler. Get access to exclusive stars to star players to spread violence and unfair plays. And more importantly, bribery and corruption. Team special rule. Once per match, this team may re-roll a roll of a natural 1 for Argue the Call. I didn't realize that was once per match. In addition, bribe and biased referee inducements can be purchased for a reduced price. 50k off. Are these more similar in the cyanide color scheme? Let's find out. That one's in readability. By category. It didn't change. What? It looks like it didn't change. What's in the blood pass? Just a bunch of cosmetics. Some dice and stuff. They didn't put the cheerleaders or the pitch back in. I can scroll through it again. Anyone who's curious about the blood pass? Some dice. You do have the sideline stuff. Shipper title. There's the ball. Yeah, maybe we can go back to the team. It'll actually have the right colors. This is an ADHD-driven preview. This isn't the first time I've bounced around because somebody in chat asked. There's the end. You get pretty cool, flamey, punchy thing you can punch them with. New Ironheart skin? All right, let's back to the icon exploration. Go to the quarantine. Maybe there'll be you can get 16 of these. Holy crap. I've never seen the little ticks that small. Wow, you get 9 positionals and 2 linos? I'm okay with the linos not having strength access when you get that many positionals. All right, now we got the coloring. Okay, so strength, guard. Guard is red by default. Agility, defensive. Okay, they were both red shields, so it's good that they made the silhouettes much different. There's the new Ironheart skin. Do you like rerolls? If so, you need more than 2 lineups. Yeah, at first you'll build into it. I wasn't actually building a team. We did spend all of our money though, didn't we? So yeah, these at a smaller scale, like they are now, that they were maybe not far enough apart before. I don't know if they're far enough apart now. The new Ironheart skin is great though. That looks nothing like Claw. Each a Claw too. But if you use the old school icon coloring, the defensive is easy to tell apart. The linos are armor 8. Ooh, yeah, that sucks. I didn't realize that. One of them's your ball carrier. I mean, you could treat this team like Nurgle and you run the ball on these, but yeah, I mean 6 move, 3 agility. That seems like a fine ball carrier. Mutates on a primary, so you can give him an extra hand and extra head. If you're so inclined. But yeah, you might just want the higher armor so you're not leveling up a player that's going to explode. Depends how you want to play. It's probably going to be very similar to Orcs. If you like Mr. Throw, you might want to run the ball on a Lino here. But if you run the ball on a Blitzer because it's faster than Mr. Throw, you might also run the ball on a Korngor here because it's like just tankier. Maybe not though. I don't know. Like it is using one of your strong players. So. And I'm thinking from a ladder perspective too. Our distinguishable claws, no. I had a lot of people foul my Ironheart skin players last season. Oh yeah, and these guys aren't frenzied. In fact, they're Juggernaut. So if they have to blitz themselves free, they do it a hell of a lot better. Frenzy's pretty bad for blitzing yourself free. Horns too, yeah, horns too, for getting that one player off of your ball carrier. Yep, those are some good reasons to build a ball carrier on one of them. It gives you one less guard, unless you put guard on your ball carrier. I'm down for guard on the ball carrier. Yeah, Duke. Redraft on the ladder, you ask about. Redraft is enabled in the official ladder. Teams will redraft every 20 matches with a budget of 1.3 million. There's no TV cap. Yay. But every 20 games, you're yanked back down to 1.3. What does it actually do? Good question. Let's do a redraft. So do I already have a developed team here? I think I can. I've got my Amazon Clash teams. So let's redraft our Lizard team. I got to get the icon colors back to normal. Okay, so create a competition. Testing redraft. Sure, knockout format. Slots. Mission mode. Advanced parameters after clicking that button. Parameters. Redraft. 1.3. It says that this is the tooltip is weird. Set a maximum redraft budget. Setting a limit reduces the gap in team value between participants. Oh. Each match played, the team is granted an additional budget. 40,000 for a win, 30,000 for a tie, 20,000 for a defeat. What you're setting here is the cap. So everyone gets pulled back down to 1.3. Any info on the revamped matchmaker? No, they haven't. They really didn't actually disclose how the old one worked. We just inferred it. So I don't know if they're going to like specifically tell us how they tweaked it. Hopefully it just doesn't give those horrible mismatches anymore. And they probably won't announce how it actually gets changed. We'll probably have to just kind of figure it out again. The old one didn't work. So the old matchmaker worked for like 95% of the games, and it worked like on average. The discrepancies were fine, but if you were an outlier, the matchmaker abandoned you. So if, like, when I was spinning, like, say, as a top 10 team SR-wise and at the team value cap and at a lot of games played. So it's like all three matchmaking criteria, I was way off, way away from the pack, like where most players are playing. The matchmaker would never, ever, ever give me a game because with like a okay-ish opponent, like a diamond coach with 40 games played would queue up. It wouldn't let me play them with like my 60 game team because I was also too high of team value and also too high of SR. So like that player wouldn't match into me until that player had waited for 10 minutes. Like I had waited for 10 minutes. So like the system's willing to make me play that player who, like, that would have been a reasonable game. But this guy, after 6 minutes, goes and plays against like a platinum coach, like a high platinum. So like anytime somebody like reasonable would show up, they wouldn't let me play them right away. They would just more quickly find a closer pair. So the current matchmaker, like everybody who's in, like, picture a school of fish. It's like a 3-dimensional matchmaking criteria, right? Because it cares about games played and SR and team value. So it's picture like a big school of fish. So I'm sitting way out here as a big outlier, nowhere near the school of fish. Somebody pops up a little bit outside of the school of fish, but they'll get matched against somebody on the inside of the school of fish rather than reaching farther out and hit me. But the real problem with that system is there was like a bronze coach way over here, also outside of the school of fish, also unable to find an opponent because he's in bronze and has played 30 games. So, like, you know, he was like 2 wins, 4 draws, and X losses or whatever. So we're both like unable to find an opponent, but now we've both waited 20 minutes and our matchmaking criteria grew big enough that it was like, oh, okay, you guys can play. Instead of us each reaching into the school of fish and pulling out like a somewhat appropriate opponent, it would actually just take like the top 1% and pair them against the bottom 1% because we're both outliers. But I have multiple of those games last season. It's like a fundamental flaw with the system that is invisible to 99% of your players. But both that bronze coach and me were very unhappy with that match. It's like, if I beat him, I gain 1 SR. And if he beats me, I lose 64. Enjoy the 15-ish for winning? Nope. Literally 1. Maybe it was 2. Maybe it was 2. But if you lose, it's 64. And Blood Bowl's got like enough randomness in it. I think even when you're kind of bad, you can probably beat people. Like somebody who's not like new, but like this guy played 30 games on that team. So when you're 30 to 100 games in your Blood Bowl career, you're not very good at the game, but you could probably beat a world champion 1 out of 100 times. In chess, if you took a similar skill discrepancy, just like I just would literally never beat Magnus Carlsen, like ever. We could play 10,000 games. I would never beat him. But there's enough randomness in Blood Bowl that, you know, that kind of huge elo discrepancy breaks down mathematically. They'll eventually just get the perfect 4 line hit removals and it'll all be sad. Oh, you're saying minus 15 when you win. I misread it. You resolve the problem by being less good. Indeed, that would fix it. Hey, thanks for checking out the sponsor game, Drastek. Much appreciated. I'm getting a little worried that Skuro's thing never showed up. I'm also getting a little worried that everyone else is duplicated, but not Skuro. So Mr. Rocker Crocker came through a minute apart twice. Looks like it's doing the install and the 15 minutes separately or something. And all the ones earlier today were the same. Like Gaming Dad twice. Stromo only showed up once. TomTech twice. Captive only showed up once. So there's something weird with there. But don't worry, Skuro. I'll put a ticket in and we'll get that through if it doesn't show up. But there's also a chance the purchase ones just need to get vetted. And like a human has to actually approve it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the 15 minutes seem to be popping up very much early, which might be why Skuros didn't show up. Most of the time, the purchase things are like you have to actually do the first goal, so maybe like you have to actually play for 15 minutes and then do the purchase, or it could just be, like I said, a human being has to review it and make sure it's a legit purchase. Mm-hmm. You guys like Decay, so you actually have to play the Masters teams? Well, I think you, like, if you fixed it so the Masters, all you have to do to fix it is, like, that outlier who's waited, like, 5 minutes is willing to play like somebody that in that range, and then like after 10 minutes, it's growing more. And the School of Fish is down here, so after like 15 minutes, like it's reaching into the School of Fish. But the problem is that like this diamond, like halfway through diamond, like 1900 player also needs to wait for 15 minutes for his criteria to grab the other coach. And that never happens because after 4 minutes, he gets another diamond coach or reaches down for a platinum coach first. All they need to do is make it so only one player's wait time matters. So once you've waited 20 minutes as number one on the ladder, you just grab a diamond coach the second he queues, if you've already waited your 15 minutes or whatever. And then that poor bronze coach would just reach in and grab a silver coach who's only played 5 games, and I would reach in and grab a diamond coach is only on 12 games or whatever. Or you could also just make it so there's a hard cap. Like you just never let the matchmaker grow big enough to be more than 400 SR apart or whatever you want to set it at. But I think you just need to, like, in order for games to get made, you just need to let that Masters player grab, like, your top 1% need to be able to play against your top 5%. Instead of the top 5% never actually be able to get paired up that far. Is there info on the sponsor in the Discord? There is below the stream. In the doobly-doo down below. There's the amounts that the various things add. It is mobile only for Roblox new accounts. Oh yeah, redraft. That's what we were doing. We're setting up this league. Redraft when registering. Sure, that helps. Redraft when competition ends. Sure, more redrafts. There's also a start redraft button. Okay, so we have testing redraft competition. Let's add our team to it. Register a new team. Oh, I think I screwed up the parameters. We need to allow experienced teams. The experienced teams is already checked. Custom teams. There we go. There, now we can add anything. So let's... Our Amazon Lizard team. Let's redraft them. Yes, this is for the mobile Roblox. Okay. How do I redraft? There we go. We have a redraft button. Perfect. This team must redraft before it can join a competition. Choose player you wish to redraft. Not a lot of guidance here. They have said they're going to put an article up on how this works. So at least there'll be something outside of game. So, like, do we just go, like, I don't want a skink? Go away, skink. Yes, skink. Go away, skink. Okay, I checked them. I will keep my Croxicore and Zotac. Can I keep everything? Is this team just not... interesting. So the rerolls of the Apothecary don't count. That actually makes the 1.3 more encouraging for me. If your rerolls aren't counted. But this team doesn't have any money. So there's a bit of a problem. It didn't earn any redraft funds. So we're capped at 1.3, but we're not 1.3 minimum. Oh, I'm not keeping the rerolls? I sure want to leave the page now. It doesn't look like you can keep the rerolls. Maybe because I'm broke. Okay, let's let those 2 skilled ones go back. Can I have a reroll? You can't interact with that stuff. It won't validate the redraft either. Recruitment tab? Oh, okay. Oh, because I have to buy. I have to have a legal team too. I have to buy the rookies. We can't rock loners. You do have to pay for your rerolls. Somebody in chat said you didn't have to pay for your rerolls. So you need 11 players, and you do have to pay for your rerolls. Your everything's. So we have to just buy extra skinks to get up to 11. Means we're gonna have to put somebody else back too. One less source. Still isn't valid apparently. Why are you not valid? It has no free rolls. I mean, this is a bad example because this team didn't get the like 40k per win. It's only got 1 million instead of what it should have. I don't know if there's a way we could actually simulate it. But it won't even let me just buy this team. Summary? Oh, okay. Validate redraft on the summary. Okay. It being grayed out made me think you did it there, but you do it on the summary. So this was 1 million. We would have 0.3 more, which like 3 rerolls is 2.1, and then the apothecary 260. So we would only get to keep 40k more, which is our lizard. I had to fire 2 of the lizards. I wonder if you need the money in your bank too. No, because you can't get that much money. Validate redraft. Well, at least they're not redrafting us to 1 million. I think you just have to fire your good players, probably too, to some extent. Like you can't actually just keep your cool killer and your ball carrier. Pick one. Yes. To say how the redraft works, you have to you play 20 games, and then you have to do a redraft. But you gained money through wins, draws, and losses, but it's capped at 1.3 million. And 20 losses is more than 1.3. So effectively, there is no cap. Like there is no gaining per games played. Everyone's played 20 games and will be at the 1.3 cap. So on the latter, you'll get to spend a lot more than we did here, 300,000 more, which is good because this is awful. It's nice that Sana is forcing everyone to min-max scum. Yeah. I mean, it might end up being fun. I'm open to trying it. But it is so the opposite of what I fell in love with Blood Bowl. Like, fantasizing about making a kick-ass Skaven team. And then realizing Chaos gets strength skills on everybody. So, like, maybe they're the best team if you are gigantic. And then, like, building gigantic Chaos and proving myself true. This is what made me addicted to Blood Bowl 2. It's a lot less fun to be like, oh, I can spend my 7 skills I get to carry forward with this particular build, and here's the ideal way. Like, it might be fun, I'm kind of meh about it. But like part of being good at Magic the Gathering is like keeping your deck to 60 cards. New players in Magic the Gathering will not make their deck 60 cards. Like, oh, cool new card. I'll put it in my deck. 61 card deck. Another cool new card. Boom, 62 card deck. So like, it's not like I'm completely opposed to trimming things and budgeting in gaming. Hey, Gasabar. Second, you got toothed. So kill teams are never coming again. Well, this is a bad example. Okay, let's make a custom team. It's hard to simulate the actual redraft, but we should be able to actually estimate what a chaos team will look like at the redraft point. Custom team. So 1.3 million. You're obviously not going to have a big guy. That's for damn sure. Probably 3 rerolls. You can actually fire a reroll is the cool part. Is a cool part. Okay, everyone get back down to 1.3 million and back in range of the guard spam dwarves. Woo! Dwarf season. No, the only option that you saw there, Zagini, for the amount that you can pick for the redraft is the cap. There was no like free 1.3 million for everybody. Okay, so here's the base team. Let's go for we have good blockers build. So let's go block guard. Block guard. I guess we get 10 skills, right? Block, mighty blow, law. We'll take block, mighty blow, guard. It's kind of like the way I would maybe build a team organically. We only get 50k more. It's like you don't even get to keep all. You can't even go like fire goats. These aren't even particularly high level warriors. It's like we keep our block. Sure hands. Move. So that's close, but yeah, we have to actually reset a warrior. Yeah, this is your redrafted chaos. We know that after 20 matches in a redraft, you're able to retry the sprint with the team. No, see, that would have been a really good way to implement it instead. Optional redraft whenever you want, and it resets your sprint. And then you can still go big if you want, but if you don't want to play with the big stuff, you can just hit the redraft button, and the matchmaker will make you never play against the big people. You probably drop a reroll instead of that warrior. I think you're right. Yep. We're less like strategizing here, or more just trying to get a visual of like what you actually get to keep on a redraft. The worst part is you might have to play. You might have to play against somebody who's about to do their redraft with this team. So 20 games of SPP. If you're getting like 10 SPP a game, which is very conservative guess, that is probably you've skilled up everybody, and a couple of them have skilled up more than once. Like my Amazon team, I can't flip back to the live server. I have to install a different Steam beta version or whatever. We can't go look at my Amazon team, but my Amazon Sprint team, I feel like it had like 2 level 3 players. After 20 games, it was not that high level. It had a whole lot of 1 level up players, but like it didn't have any level 5s or anything like that. Like, I don't think you can play Chaos. Somebody will get the best Chaos invite, but I think Chaos are like probably worse season 9 than Black Orcs were season 8. Random skills are still discounted too, yes. So this system actually, I think, makes the random problem worse, because now, like, if you've actually got some players with 2 good randoms, they're cheaper to purchase. But if you're going like 60 games deep, there's another part of the redraft system, Nuke, where every time you keep a player, they get 20k more expensive. So it doesn't affect your team value after the redraft, but when you buy them, it costs you 20k more every time you rehire them. It's unclear to me if the very first redraft actually has a 20k penalty. It sounds like it doesn't. So like, these guys didn't cost me 20k extra. But like, if I just bought these particular guys again the next time around, that would cost me 80k more. So like, I can't. You just can't. You can't keep the same players forever. You can keep your ball carrier forever. He's just going to get 20k more expensive, and you have to cut more stuff. But I think, honestly, I'm thinking, look, we're going to play Khorne, obviously, but like Underworld looked pretty strong. Because Underworld only want like a good gutter runner and like a good blitzer. If you got a good blitzer killer, you got a good gutter runner, that's all you freaking need. And there is kind of a benefit too of like, if your gutter runner dies, it's like, well, crap, I guess we keep the Rat Ogre this redraft. And I think during a redraft you can keep an injured player too. If you play 40 games, that player costs 40k. I think at 40 they cost 20. That's what I'm not clear on. If it's the initial one, I don't think has a penalty. I think it's the second time you keep them, it has a penalty that grows. Dark Elves will get really good. Just keep 2 Blodge Blitzers every season. Yeah. Part of the problem is going to be like, when you redraft on the ladder and queue, what are you going to play against? If the answer is somebody who's like within 3 games of their redraft, like 1, 2, or 3 games after redrafting, it's probably fine. It's just like we're playing like arena runs more than we're building up battleship style. Like we're not playing battle cruiser Blood Bowl anymore. We're playing draft, not vintage. But it has like giant pitfalls. If you queue up for your 3rd game of 20 and play against somebody's 18th game of 20, like you're not going to be impressed. Yeah, you could heal during the redraft too. I think the tabletop rule is like, if somebody gets a strength bust, you can bench them for the rest of the season, and then they heal in the redraft period. But like, who knows if that's actually in Blood Bowl 3? I didn't have any injured players on that never played team. Dark Elves random and hit random on your blitzer. Yeah, random dodge on your blitzers. You can keep all 4 of them. Chat out while mostly reading chat. Yeah, I don't know if the stashing away an injured guy is actually going to be a part of the game. Maybe manage team. Not there, but it's a custom team. That matters. This doesn't seem fun in the slightest. Yeah, I mean, I'll give it a shot. I guess the good news is if it's not fun, like maybe season 10 is better. Oh, they only heal on a 4+ with the extra +1 if you keep your apothecary too. Ugh, that's a lot worse. Because you have to give up your roster position. So like, if your Underworld Gutter Runner is the one you're trying to heal, like you have to play 3 games without a Gutter Runner until you get to the redraft. And then it might not even get healed. That sounds miserable. Like, three games to see if your Gutter Runner gets saved. He doesn't get saved. Like, you uninstall the game. That sounds so awful. Yeah, double time asks if you can temp retire. We're not sure. We could actually try to jam a game in my custom league. I think we can add an AI and try to get somebody injured and then hit the redraft button. You don't like this redraft, but you don't like 2K kill teams, so you don't know what you actually want. Sprints? Do you just want sprints, Nuke? Sprints already exist too. Like, it seems like the sprints of the redraft are kind of for the same people. There's also Arena. Like, there are a lot of ways to play Blood Bowl right now. There's just next season you just can't play Battlecruiser Blood Bowl. They have to be temp retired right after the game they got injured. You can't just fix them during the redraft. If ladder is redraft, doesn't that make the ladder into Arena? Well, no, because like Arena doesn't have any progression. When Arena came out, I basically did the whole subathon playing Arena. And that subathon didn't do great. And I looked back on it afterwards, like, I didn't really enjoy it as much as normal either. And the big thing that was missing was there was no progression. Like, there was no fun of hitting a good level up. Getting a guy to legend, like playing your team for a couple games where you don't have enough tackle and then getting a few tackle and then spinning into a dark elf and using your tackle and feeling great about it. Like, the progression is a pretty important part of Blood Bowl for me. You just want sprints? Sprints in Arena are all that matters to you? Yeah. So like who's excited by the redraft? Because if it really feels like it's the sprint players it's kind of targeting, but they already have sprints. Like, I guess there's the fantasy of like getting a legend, but I've done that a lot. I want a bunch of legends. You liked it when the team value cap was like 1.6, 1.7. You don't get nearly as big. I played a lot of orcs when the ladder was actually set up that way. Maybe orcs is the answer to this redraft. The only thing you don't like about the arena is no stacking. Yeah. That changes things a lot. Not being able to get any like mighty blow tackle combos. If you're practicing for a NAF thing, you're grinding arena. If not, you play the ladder. The audience for redraft might be just increasing the number of players spinning at lower team value. There is that effect. Yeah, Kevlar, it is very true that this will kind of scrunch, like we were talking about the whole school of fish thing, right? It's harder to be an outlier because the redraft is going to push everybody back in. It won't push you back in on your SR though, so you could still be SR outlier. So we could still end up with bronze against Masters players because they're just, neither of them can find a game otherwise. And arguably the SR, the skill rating, is the most important thing they should be matchmaking by, right? I wonder if a system where, like, as soon as you're above like 1900, you only play people who are diamond or higher. Like, if there should be some sort of threshold where you, like, you're only playing people at that point or higher, and maybe you could ditch all the other matchmaking. So, like, the SR is all that matters. It's hard to say though, because like there's pros and cons to, like, when you have two of your kick-ass guys die, it doesn't kill your team, because now, like, it happened to me with my chaos team on the ladder. Like, we were playing at the team value cap, and then I fired like 2 legends with like armor bust and a strength bust or something, and like I was really sad to have to get rid of them, but like, it didn't lower our win rate because now we were just back down to like 1.6 million instead of 2 million. We got softer opponents and didn't have to play against wizards. But like, shouldn't you be worse? Like, if your level 6 War Dancer dies, shouldn't your team be worse in the next game? Because right now I feel like it isn't. You just hire a new War Dancer and like you get to play against softer opponents. Like, it's a little bit worse, but it's not like devastatingly worse. Like, if you're Croxagore and 2 of your sources die in one game, like, is that not a delete this team situation? Because it's not on the ladder. Where if there actually was like matchmaking only by SR once you break through to Masters or whatever threshold, then like, yeah, you need to get your team value up there, or or be counting on inducements. It'd be a lot more similar to league play, like a weekly league at your local game store, where I can't imagine how much it sucks to sign up for 8 weeks of Blood Bowl and just lose your big guy or your War Dancer or whatever on the very first game. You just have to play some horribly crippled team for the rest of the league. I think we'll see more elves. I think we might see more variety with the redraft, but I'm a little worried we won't actually see more variety. We'll just see variety compared to Season 8. Like, there sure won't be a whole lot of Nurgle and Chaos running around. There'll be even more Amazons running around, though. The Blood Bowl 2 level up system was arguably better. Caveman, you're skipping this season? If I wasn't a streamer, I might be there with you too. I am incentivized to give it a good try. Maybe we actually focus on sprints or something. I'm way up here in chat. There's a private league with 3.4 million team value teams. Oh my god. Do inducements make up for team value difference? Star players are a lot better than they used to be in Blood Bowl 2. Yeah, like when I do get those horrible mismatches and play against like a silver coach who got 900,000 inducements, yeah, we lost to that guy. They got like Morgan Thorg and Griff on their halfling team and stole my rerolls, and it sucked. Overall, like inducements shouldn't make up for the gap, but they make it pretty close, I think. Like, it should still be good to level your team. The key to your betting, it's just dwarves all over the place. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Fiena said dwarfs and Zons, but I mean, if Zons are out and dwarves are out, like, the dwarves are just going to crush the Amazons. No claws to deal with the dwarves. The blood spawn's got claws. What value are the inducements good? So there are some thresholds. If fouling is big, 120 for the biased ref. Like, if your opponent has 2 dirty player sneaky, gets biased ref is tremendous at 120. Wizard's really good at 150. And then it depends what you're playing. But yeah, the star players that cost like 300. Like Morgenthorg at 380. Griff at 280. There's actually a lot of really good stars I haven't played a lot with. The Skink twins at 190 are actually really good. That's part of the problem with inducements being used to bridge that gap, is there is a big mess of bad choices. When I was new, I used to take the Master Chef all the time. The full price 300k Master Chef. It's like, I didn't really know what to do. I was like, oh, I can get lucky and steal all his rerolls. It doesn't work that often. Does Khorne have noticeable skills? Khorne gets Claw Mighty Blow from the get-go. I think all of the frenzy's really bad against dwarves, though, so Khorne probably are not the answer to dwarves. Undead redrafting their mummies in white sounds like a pain. Necro might redraft really well, too. Maybe Norse with a Yeti, but I mean, the dwarves are just going to kill all your other Norse. Or orcs are pretty good against dwarves. You took Morg in one of your tabletop league games and he got a vicious reft? Oh my god. That is insane. Clawed by Bloodspawn the second time. Yeah, Morgenthorpe puts a lot of your eggs in one giant ogre-shaped basket. Sometimes you play with Morg too. He doesn't get killed like that right away, but he just rolls 4s on the armor rolls and he doesn't get his job done. The redraft kind of takes care of the team value discrepancies a little bit too. Yeah, inducements kind of suck below 100k. You just get a keg and a cheerleader. You don't want to be the player getting the keg and the cheerleader. See you later, Duke. See you on Tuesday for the subathon. I actually think Underworld might end up being reasonably good Vienna, but I guess if dwarves are everywhere, that's not great for Underworld. Leafy, you're going with Undead. Undead are pretty damn good at low team value. Yeah, Underworld tier 5 in the arena is nasty. Yeah, Underworld looks like it might be good in the ladder and the arena. Alright, let's pull the patch notes back up. There were bug fixes that we can read out to. Fixed an issue where soft lock could occur if the opponent conceded a specific time. We need gnomes to counter dwarves. They've got wrestle to dominate all the block. They don't have dodge. Take that, tackle. Fix an issue where additional time visual would be reset to 7:30 after a reconnection. Seen that bug. Kind of minor. Fix an issue where plan sequence would be cancelled if activating Pogo Stick or Handoff during declaration. Alright. Wizard can now be used right after a touchdown. The wizard interface gave me a bit of trouble, but I think I understand the sequencing now. What's at the top here? Scroll back up for you. Fixed an issue where you couldn't find a specific player when searching for one because too many players had similar names. So that's got to be like manager, coach name, not Blood Bowl player. Fix an issue where only one player would be highlighted when multiple were available to intercept a pass. That always was weird to me. Fixed some rare soft lock issues that could occur during interceptions. Man, they still have those. They've had these since the preseason. Fixed an issue where you couldn't scroll down in the prayer to Nuffle tab in match modifiers. Fixed an issue where a player with Bombardier would try to throw a bomb instead of just moving. Scary issue. Andy's got you excited for Corn? You think you'll play them for 50% of your games? I'm going to start with Corn for sure. But yeah, I don't know where I'll go because of the redraft after Corn. Wonder if lizards are any good. Well, we tried to redraft that lizard team and it wasn't really genuine because we didn't have the 1.3. You got to do some hard resetting though. Fix an issue with a player. Oh, I already read that one. Fixed the order of ball bouncing during Frenzy. It will now bounce after first block before second part of Frenzy. I don't know if I've ever noticed that. Welcome to Sprints, the season. There's no marathoning anymore. Fixed an issue where Plagridden activated on a surf. The crowd had Nurgle's Rot. Pogo Stick does not trigger diving tackle skill anymore. Fixed an issue where Ivar, star player, special rule raiding party could be used on a rooted player. No more moving your trees around. He can now use raiding party on himself. Fixed an issue where bomb explosion would affect players on the pitch when thrown outside of it. I didn't realize the bomb had out-of-bounds splash damage. T-shirt man was flinging it back onto the field. Oh, you need strip ball and frenzy for that bug fix to matter. That's why I haven't seen it. Right, if you pound them and they drop the ball, you're not frenzying. And strip ball and frenzy are not a combo. If you don't want to scum people with dwarves, the key will be finding a team that dies a lot. Like, yeah, Underworld. Skaven enjoying your gutters until they die. Yeah, because you got to get rid of them at the redraft anyway. So building some bludge, sidestep, diving tackle, gutter runners, and just sticking them on ball carriers right in the middle of the fight. Who cares if you die? You steal me that ball a couple times before you die. That's all we want. The first redraft isn't too bad. Yeah, I guess your team's not going to be that big after 20 games. But after 40, 60, 80 games, you're getting hauled back down pretty hard. The vast majority of people aren't even playing 41 plus games. Yeah. Yeah, it really just feels like they're rooting the fun for those of us who enjoy Big Blood Bowl. They got rid of the team value cap though, so season 10, no redraft and no cap. I'm down for that. We can get rid of the randoms while we're at it. That'd be perfect. Hey, Dizzy Bess, thank you for the raid. We are checking out the preview build here. If there's anything you want to see in the new season, raiders and raiding streamer in particular, let me know. And there's known issues. Special actions may not be used during the blitz. Option to leave a spectated game may not be displayed when the game is paused. Pressing on the confirm prompt quickly after choosing a characteristic to be increased may cause a soft lock. Don't do that. The matchmaking might be better. Everyone being clamped down by the redraft. Hey, Anarian. What's in the blood pass? Oh, we can flip through the blood pass again. Put my chat back over here. So we didn't get our cheerleaders in the pitch back like we used to. $1.3 million cap on the redraft is too low. Yeah, it feels pretty bad. We did some experimenting earlier to see like what does a chaos team look like at 1.3 million. And the conclusion was we're not playing chaos next season. It's not a very impressive team. Yeah, even losing 20 games in a row gives you more than the cap. Tell them to change it to at least 1.8. Yeah, I'd be all down for 1.8. Reset me to 1.8? Heck yeah. Actually, I was kind of excited when I read the tooltip. Sorry, ADHD preview here. we'll get through the blood pass. But I was pretty excited when I saw the tooltip that said, like, you gained 40k for every win, 30k for every draw, and 20k for every loss. I thought that was going to be on top of the 1.3. But no, the 1.3 is a cap on that amount. Yeah, just doing no cap and using that rule would be fun. You have to redraft every 20 games, TomTech. Yep. Same as the sprint. It doesn't reset your sprint, though. You have to make a whole new team if you want to sprint again. Okay, so let's scroll through. There's a lot of cosmetics. The new banner. Is it animated? Doesn't appear to be animated. Some corn dice. Cosmetic, random cosmetic. Blood and skull encrusted cheerleader stand. Put the halfling chickens on that one. Perfect. Ball. Wrap your blood spawn in chains. Skulls for the corn gores. Corn gores are like hound, like, instead of goats. They still have hooves, though. Will redraft roll into playoffs? Loads of teams that have 39 games played? Ooh. Yeah, that's a good point. You have to kind of park right before the redraft. Otherwise, everyone's redrafting for playoffs. What a horrible playoffs it's going to be. Ooh, some interesting Nurgle dice. They look like they might actually be readable. Oh, there's an animated corn banner. Nothing like an apothecary with plenty of skulls for transplanting. Did I play against the new AI? No. I barely played against the old one. I think the only reasonable way to do playoffs would be like you have to redraft. You just have to call a redraft before the first round. That's the only way to do it fair. It sounds awful, but it's like the only way to do it fair. It's like if I need to play again to qualify and it's going to push me over the redraft, I'm going to do it and I'm going to waste a playoff slot. Like there will 100% be people who just redrafted against people who are 18 games in. If they don't make a new redraft happen after after the season before the playoffs. Blood Savant's pretty sick. So you need like 7 wins or 15 losses to hit the redraft budget. Hey, BB Nut. 1.3 seems a little low. Yeah, we did a test Chaos team. 1.3 seems horrible. Like, I'm not playing Chaos next season. Are the patch notes public? They're my embargo lifted this afternoon. So like, here's the patch notes, but I don't think they're posted anywhere. I mean, I can just copy paste them on my Discord. Can I do a message that long? Send longer messages with Discord Nitro. Yeah, go Nitro yourself, Discord. We gotta do it in 2 chunks. Here we go. Get a link. Shazam! Link in chat. There's some patch notes for you to peruse at your own leisure. Bring chat back in. We didn't quite finish the Blip Pass. The legendaries up here. An important part to show off. It's kind of sweet. The Blood Seekers, the 4 strength corn guys. Will a redrafted player keep their accumulated SPP? Oh, that's a good point. You could kind of hover a bunch of level ups. That's a nasty strategy for dwarves in particular. Okay, BB Nut says, yes, you keep the SPP, but you can't spend it until you've played a game. Interesting. You want them to make an unlimited league and let people go nuts? Bubble 2 had that. Not a lot of people played in the Forever Eternal League, but you can find games in it. If anyone wants me to poke around in anything in the alpha client, let me know. We can go look at the event. We can go look at an actual Corn team. Mr. Rocker Crocker, you say that 1.3 is normally the floor, and you build up higher with your winnings and your bank and stuff. It seems like you got to go down to 1.3 on the ladder. Redraft is instead of the normal ladder, Prank. It's not a separate ladder. Giant Blood Bowl is dead. Well, for a season. we'll give redraft the old college try, but yeah, it might be orcs that we play. We're gonna play Khorne at first. Orcs might be what we try to top the ladder with. You missed the tiers for Arena? We can go back to that, though. Yeah, we can go back to the Arena tiers. We'll play Arena. We'll go over this again. A lot of new people showed up. The big standout for most people was, I'm actually going to bring chat back out. The Black Orcs. Black Orcs get a star player. They're down with goblins and halflings. Black Orcs might be the best now. Probably not, but I'll bet you they're viable. There's a lot of good star players you can give them too. The Black Goblin, Vrarg. Vrarg will probably be the most popular one. Underworld tier 5 looks pretty strong too. If the redraft was maxed at 1.8, so you had to actually like kind of do well to actually get the 1.8, that would probably be like that would suit me just fine. I would not mind redrafting my 2 million team value chaos team down to 1.8. It would keep things from getting incredibly out of control, but it wouldn't be. I don't know if it's like meaningfully different from just not having redraft though. It's like things die. I did not stay at 2 million for very long this season. It might be like the matchmaker might be better enough that it's worth playing at a lower team value than I would like. Any news on the redraft rules? Yeah. Every 20 games, you have to draft back down to 1.3 million on the ladder. And it's not a fresh sprint. Sprints are still just your first 20 games. But it's going to be a pretty low team value ladder. Have they not sorted it out so you can draw through a game instead of a loss? Nope. That's on you to concede, Ben Bowbackets. My only arena run this season, we went 6-3-1. It felt pretty bad to lose out on 3 draws. Chaos, Nurgle, OWA, and Underworld. One of these teams is not like the others. Yeah, Chaos and Nurgle are like unplayable. OWA and Underworld are like fine. Well, Old World Alliance is probably fine. Underworld is probably a really strong choice. Underworld with 8 primaries, 2 secondaries. And they get inducements too. So like you get your bias draft and your bribe. Underworld are probably really strong. They're one of the least played teams, so maybe they did that on purpose. Wait, 1.3? That makes high TV teams like Nurgle worthless? Yeah, we went and looked at a Chaos team at 1.3, and it was... Yeah, I immediately was like, no, we're not playing Chaos this season. This is what a redrafted Chaos team looks like. That's all you get to keep. Like your ball carrier and a little bit. And every time you redraft a player, they cost 20k more. So like you get less after game 40. You don't even get this. I'm way behind on chat. You hate having to concede on the touchdown line to assert dominance. Yep. Having 2 draws at Arena and the loss keeps you alive is a strange situation. Can you redraft 5 or 6 players? You have to buy the linos too and your rerolls. Yeah, like that's part of your 1.3. You don't need to buy your rerolls. You can actually fire rerolls while you're redrafting. We need to stack skills, not in the Arena. Yeah, I think I would like the Arena better if draws were half of a loss. I think that would just mesh better in my mind. And then people would not play for the draw. Everyone would play for the win. Somebody would win. But right now, having your opponent play for a draw where a draw kicks you out feels so freaking bad. And yeah, I don't know. You'd be spiteful and just don't even concede. Just exit the Arena so they don't get the free win. You could drop a reroll for 3 skills, Rainer. I don't know if that's enough to make me want to play Chaos. Like, you don't want to play 2 reroll Chaos with this many 1 in 9 throwers. You could sack the rerolls and redraft. Yep, your Apothecary too. You can play your first couple games with the Apothecary if you want. I don't think I would do that if I'm redrafting a kick-ass ball carrier like that. I think it's dwarf season. Hey, Orc, I'm back. Halfling's new meta. 7 extra skills with only 1 random. Yeah, random seem like they're even more important now, which sucks. I don't like random being even more incentivized. But it feels like, yeah, you need what like if you're only keeping 4 players, they should probably have a random. So you can build a few without random, but you need to start randoming on the ones you want to actually carry through. Redraft your flings is just keep the trees. Yep. Yep, the halflings don't normally level up that much. Dropping the Apothecary for a game does seem viable. Yeah, it might be. I wonder how much cash you get post redraft. Does the redraft spend your bank? It might spend your bank. Yeah, random heavy and fire the ones who don't random well. Yeah, that's like beyond even just 1 random, right? Like you keep randoming after a good one. But it also makes the whole random like gameplay design even worse because like you don't even get to keep your good random forever. So like let's say you random defensive on a chaos blocker and then you random block on him. Like freaking jackpot, right? But you don't even get to play with that guy forever. Because every time you redraft him, he gets 20k more expensive. So you delete the random secondary is deleted the first time you redrafted him. Or countered or obliterated like antimatter. So it like this system forces you to random more and it makes the payoff of randoming even lower somehow. So like it's just a misery engine. Because randoming, you're still just as likely to whiff and need to lobotomize the guy. Luckily, you do a mass lobotomy when you redraft. Tabletop rules, the redraft should come from your bank. It's 1 million plus bank to a cap of 1.3. I think it's you in this system. It said it's one. I could bring it up here. You don't have to take my word for it. Let's go to the ladder. There's a tooltip. Competition parameters. So here's the tooltip. So the way they set it up here is you get your 1 million by default, and then you gain 40,000 for each win, 30,000 for each tie, and 20,000 for each defeat. 20 times 20 is a lot more than the cap. So like, they're not actually using that because they're crunching everyone back down to 1.3. So it's really unclear what happens to your actual bank. Like if it gets drained, you get to keep a token amount. I fell way behind on chat. Nice to get free lobotomies, yeah. Is the redraft fee 20k on the very first redraft? That's something that I have not clarified. When you hit game 20 and you do your first redraft, is there a 0k agent fee that first time, or is there a 20k agent fee on the very first one? Or is it only a 20k fee once you like once you're at 40 games on the people you've pulled through both times? The first one is free. The first one is free, okay. Assuming it's like tabletop. Da, da, da. Yeah, if you lost all your games, it would be 1.4 million, so you're getting clamped down to 1.3. Cap makes no sense. It doesn't make me happy. The cap makes perfect sense, but my argument is like, who is this for? Because like, isn't sprints for the same people? Like, is anyone excited for this that isn't just going to do a new sprint run anyway? Maybe it is. Maybe it is more in line with what some people want. But I feel like the sprints were kind of targeting the same audience. So a better implementation of redraft might have been just having it optional. You could just redraft your team at any point. It starts a new sprint. You just get to hit the button. Or another way you could do redraft, if you really wanted to put it on the ladder, would be like after a month, everybody has to redraft. Every week, everybody has to redraft. Like, synchronizing the league, to me, is a big part of redraft. As far as I know, in tabletop situations, you redraft together. The entire league does its redraft. But here, we're all doing it differently, and the nightmare matchup of like your game 18 against my game 2 or 22 sounds pretty scary. There's no team value cap, PP Nut. I don't know if you'll get up to 2 million without buying a bunch of rerolls. Hey, Army, good to see you. The rules say team treasury is emptied and added to the redraft budget. See, if that's true, this is fine. If that's the way this is done, this seems fine. Because it would be 1.3 plus like your 500,000. That would actually be like what the Inarian's 1.8, what he wants. We can't really test it on the build though. Redraft on ladder could also be so you can play your season 8 team. You redraft your season 8 team, and then you can put it onto the season 9 ladder. Because I think in tabletop, it's often like between seasons is when you do your redraft, and then anybody who joins your store's league between seasons isn't getting completely dominated because everyone's done a redraft. In tabletop, everyone redrafts after, say, 10 games, so it's the exact same as that. You don't follow the argument? Well, I mean, like, you're all redrafting after 10 games, but you're also all redrafting on March 8th. Like, I haven't heard of any stores where you just, like, jam games as much as you want, like on the ladder. Just play against whoever's there. Like, I mean, I think that would be pretty sick. But I've never heard of any stores doing that. And there would probably be a few diehards that got way ahead of everyone else. Kind of like in Blood Bowl 3. They never asked us to test it. I've had access to this thing for like a week, but they didn't organize a little mini league with us or anything like that. Like I could have made a league. I did kind of to test it. It didn't work because you can't. I would have to play a bunch of games to get the up to 1.3. I redrafted my Lizard team that I used for the Amazon Clash, but I only had $1 million. Shorter seasons, redraft between seasons. I like that idea. 30-day seasons with a redraft. That's a hybrid of what I was saying too. Going from season 8 to season 9, you don't need a new team. Personally, I really like new season day where we're all on new teams though. That was like the best part of Blood Bowl 2. I'll play 50 games the time it takes you to play 3. The matchmaker protects you though, Linus. You never have to play me. I'm like, if you played 3 games in 30 days, like, you're not competitive in any ladder. It feels like something designed for leagues. Trying to get work on the ladder. Oh, we've picked the worst of both worlds. I'm willing to give it the old college try. Oh, your store actually lets you play. That's a YouTube chat, by the way. If the Twitchers are confused, they didn't see that on their own screen. Your store lets you play against everyone else 2 times. So actually do get people playing different amounts of games. That's pretty sweet. So 2 people can't just jam games over and over and over to level their teams. Collusion. There was new collusion discovered this afternoon, but I will get back into it. We'll see how the investigation goes. But number 4 on the ladder might be self-colluding. I can't look at it now. I got the client build installed. The alpha build installed. I'm way behind on chat. No, you guys are talking with each other and getting away from me. I'm a bad streamer. Mm-hmm. Lizardman with block and 3 rolls hits the cap. Yeah, I built a chaos team. This is a 1.3 chaos team. It's not inspiring me to play Chaos next season. It's inspiring me to go play Dwarves. Every time I get near the bottom, the scroll jumps all the way. But I feel like just doing sprints over and over might be more fun. Like the variety of playing a new team might be better than dealing with the redraft. There's only 266 teams that have a sprint rating. There's a lot of us playing at the top, though. Like, the Masters is full of people with, like, over 1.5 million team value. Yeah, it's sprint and redraft appealing to the same crowd. I'm falling farther behind here. I had a speed read and skip. And I'm not a very good host of the party here. Hate to be a new player in a league with a 1.4 cap. So you're protected from that on the ladder. Your first 20 games are against other people on their first 20 games. Pre-first redraft, the matchmaker will shelter you. So that's not a reason to have the matchmaker or the cap low. Like to welcome beginner teams, because the beginner teams are already in their own sandbox. Like sprinters will never have to play against a redrafted team. An escalating cap, 1.3, then 1.4, then 1.5. That's an interesting idea. I hate that. I get near the bottom and it just jumps all the way. Pro tip, you can carry as much as unspent SPP as you want through the draft. Yeah, so with like 5 games out, just stop leveling things. I invited too many people to the party. I lost control. It's a riot. I'm doing fine. Davo ignores chat. You love the song. Thank you for the dancing dino. Appreciate it, Painkiller. It's only Undead and Dwarves allowed next season. I actually think Underworld and Skaven and Wood Elves and like those kind of teams that explode are actually what's unlocked by this. And it's been a while since I've played Underworld and Skaven, so like what we can kind of hope for as like battle cruiser enthusiasts is goof around with the fragile teams we don't normally get to play on the ladder. And just hope they get rid of it next season, so we can get a little bit of variety now and then get back to Mega Blood Bowl later. Amazons too as the teams for next season. Not if dwarves are heavy. I mean, if half your opponent's dwarves, Amazons aren't going to be around. People might start Amazons, but they'll quickly give up and build a dwarf team too. But if dwarves are everywhere, it's a good reason to not play Underworld, unfortunately. Skaven might be alright against dwarves. Look at how many plans we all have on a Friday night. It's not night for everybody. It's not even Friday for everybody here. Hey, Morgan, what's going on? We're logged into the preview build. If there's anything you want to see in Season 9, let me know. You can check out the event, the arena rules. We could just oogle the quarantine. We're mostly talking about redraft getting added and how sad we all are about it. After how many games do you redraft? If that's what you're asking, Philby, it's every 20 games you have to drop your team back down to 1.3 million. You are allowed to fire rerolls, though. This what we're looking at here is a 1.3 million chaos team. So this is what you get to keep when you get forced to redraft. You have to fire everybody else. Lobotomies for everyone. People cried for redraft for years. Yeah, they needed redraft for the private leagues, right? 100%. It needed to come in. It didn't need to be on the ladder. The ladder might be fine, though. I'm willing to give it the old college try. I think sprints were kind of the right fix for the ladder for people who like a lower team value. Want to see the Khorne starting rosters? Yeah, we can go try to build a Khorne team. Let me catch up on chat and then we'll do that. Try it again without an Apothecary of 2 rerolls. If you go down all the way down to 1 reroll, play with 2 rerolls. So that would save you 50k and 70k, so you'd get 6 skills. You could throw 6 more skills on, which maybe is good. I don't know if I want to play 2 reroll chaos at this rate, but if your 6 skills are like 6 block, maybe like block guard and then a bunch of block of wrestle or whatever, that might actually be all right. You'd only have to play like 1 game without your Apothecary. Scary game. This is like 1.37. It's 1.29. Unless there's something get value adding that I'm not aware of. Like your game 40 redraft, if you're pushing these guys through a second time, you can't keep them. You have to pay the 20k penalty. See, people keep talking like that, and it makes me wonder if that 20k agent fee is paid on the very first redraft or not. But I've asked it before, and people did clarify you do not pay it on the very first one. At game 20, you don't get that tax. Yeah, you have to redraft at 20 games, 40 games, 60 games, 80 games. You keep redrafting back down to this. It's unclear if they added in the convalescent care to fix a strength bust. You're supposed to be able to like put a guy on hold for the rest of the season, and then when you do your redraft, his strength bust is fixed. But you lose the positional. So like if you do it to a gutter runner, you get 1 less gutter runner for the next 4 games or however long it takes to get to your redraft. Khorne's been the team you wanted for years. I'm excited for Khorne. They are definitely hard to control. You have more variety at the top. You'll have different teams at the top. Like there'll be no Nurgle and Chaos, but there'll be a lot of dwarves and undead and orcs, and maybe some Amazons if there aren't that many dwarves. But we might actually see more of the fragile teams like the Skaven and the Wood Elves, which would be welcome for a while. But, I mean, you could sprint and do that, and you could play Arena and get that too. Like, there's other places where you can get more variety. The Arena has such a huge variety of opponents. So redraft on the ladder feels to me like it's just more for that group of players who like low team value, and taking something away from the group of players who like the big team value, infinite progression. See, Moob is saying you do have to pay on the first redraft. Chat was explicitly saying earlier there's no tax on the first redraft. There's also the argument of we don't actually know how it's programmed. Unless I run an entire mock season and actually fire a redraft, we won't be able to tell either. No, we did it with lizards, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't bad. Marglobe, thanks for checking out the sponsor game. Appreciate that. Your 15 minutes in game will add 15 minutes to the subathon clock next week. I will add it to the bank. Post that on Reddit, Jim, so I can downvote you for being correct. I started wandering into the Steam Blood Bowl discussion forums. That's an interesting place to go wading into and helping people. There's a lot of RNG is broken in the Steam community. Makes you sad the community, every attempt to try new things is met with fury. Yeah. Yep. I felt that fury when they got rid of the randoms. And like I said, personally, I'm willing to give it a shot. It's definitely killing the biggest thing that got me hooked on Blood Bowl. Like, I fell in Blood Bowl fantasizing about making monstrous Skaven teams and Chaos teams eventually, and you know, what if you could build a team up with guard on everybody or whatever, or, you know, an orc team where you actually have blodge on all of your orcs. But like dreaming about that kind of thing, that kind of progression is just completely killed by this. You're a dwarf coach and you hate this? This seems really good for dwarves. But you can't get the monstrous dwarf team where you have like 4 defensives and block guard, stand for mighty blow on 9 of your players. We played against that dwarf team with our Amazons. They kind of ended our Amazon sprint at game 17. So Nelly, you played for more than 15 minutes? Not sure if it popped. Yep, yours is there from an hour ago, Zanelli. You did come through. I don't know if it popped up in the thing, but you're on my activity feed. Good, so now you can spend money. The middle one's the sweet spot. I think it's 800. It's absolutely absurd. For $10, you can get 800 Roblox roughly, and it'll give it's about the same as like 20 or 25 gift subs. It's absolutely bonkers. You'll add 2 hours to the subathon for $10. The other ones are better than tipping me directly too, but they're not that insane. The $10 one's the best one. $8.45. What did you miss? We're going over the client here. I've got the alpha client up for what we'll have for season 9. Let me know if there's anything you want to see. There was something I was supposed to go see for somebody else. It was corn teams. We got to go build some corn teams. See what the starting builds actually look like. Would you rather have a redraft at 1.3 or a game cap at 20? Honestly, I think I might just do sprints, Mr. Rocker Crocker, next season. There is some value in, I haven't played Lizards in forever. I haven't played Skaven in forever, for more than 4 games. We've tried Skavens a few times, but if next season I just actually do 7 different sprints, that might be better content. I might enjoy it more. Where redrafting back down to this and then building up again and yo-yoing isn't particularly appealing on its own. What is appealing with doing that is trying to get number 1 on the ladder. So I also might do that. we might yo-yo because it's a way to get to the top of the ladder. On Robux that will never be spent. Well, I plan to play for 2 hours with the community, so maybe you could buy a fancy hat with it. Yeah, we're not sure if you can actually use your treasury to help with the redraft or not. Any changes to Bomber? He's banned everywhere, I think. It's not a miss that it's 20k per season for the redraft. We have no idea. We have no idea. It's really hard for me to do a redraft. And there's also different ways to set up a competition, so it's hard to say, even if I did make my own competition, if the ladder would even work the same way. Bum, 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 bum. Three Seekers, 4 Gores, 4 Linos, 3 rerolls. You forgot the Bloodspawn. The whole point of playing the best big guy in the game. All right, if I want to actually build corn teams, I don't think I can just catch up on chat. What stars? None. We found no new stars. Hit and run did get fixed, though. Hit and run did get fixed. There's patch notes. I think it's still my copy paste. Yeah, there you go. There's the patch notes. The unofficial early notes they gave me. So they might be slightly different when they come out officially. But there's no stars in the patch notes. There is a fix to the hit and run. Let me know when I do the community Roblox so you can tell your kids to avoid all the 30-year-olds play. Well, I'll have you know I'm 40. That's why I want to play with you guys. I don't want to just join random lobbies with the kiddos. I hate when I get to the bottom, it jumps. We're gonna croc score because I said it's the best big guy. Though they get a claw mighty blow. That's why it's the best big guy.
Hey, you guys.
Best big guy in the game is the mummy. Some people actually argue the mummies aren't big guys. The Khemri ones either. Because they don't have a negative trait. which just make them a lot better than the ones with negative traits. Your advice with Cord is max out the guys without frenzy. Seems like good advice. Hey, architect. Roblox has an Escape from Tarkov clone. Nice. Somebody said that earlier, that Roblox has a lot of this is definitely not insert game blank. Tentacles also got FAQ'd, yep. The Blitz one didn't get through, apparently. Special actions on Blitzes. That one's still yet to be implemented. Mm-hmm. Another problem with redraft is the concedes you get at low TV eating into your redraft limit without giving you the SPP. Yeah. Yeah, the concessions. I wish they would do something about the concessions. Just giving a touchdown to your guy holding the ball that was about to score would go a long way to making the concessions feel a lot better. You get about 80% concedes. Yeah, they're everywhere. Apparently the event is really bad right now. Like, if you want to get the 20 win Amazon event for the Amazon Clash, you could probably go do it now way quicker than you think. Because apparently people are conceding at the drop of a hat. You get 20-minute wins pretty easily. Of course, anyone who does that, because I just gave that advice, you're almost guaranteed to not get conceders. You're stuck with the hour-long games. I don't want a 2.5 million cap. I know you're talking to him, but I want no cap. You don't need a cap. Murder is the cap. All right, I caught up on chat. All right, I'm putting chat on the other window, and we're gonna build a quarantine. Just need to play the lizard pitch. That'll kill everybody. Shorter seasons would probably help with a lot of the problems too. All right, let's just make a new quarantine. There are some predefined templates. Bloodspawn. Okay, the no reroll template. All positionals is what this one's called. Yep, maybe don't do that one. The 2 reroll template gives up the big guy. Keeps all the other positionals. A little more reasonable. You can add the big guy later. 2 rerolls is the best one. You guess they asked Davo. I could see Davo being tapped to make these. Apothecary and 3 reroll. So there's no big guy template. You like how the 0 reroll's the first one, so people will pick it. It's the most absurd one. Okay, so assuming we do want the Bloodspawn, holy crap, it's 160k. My god. We're probably not going to get all the Bloodseekers. Let's randomly guess at this and see where we're at. I think if you want the big guy, you're only going to get 2 rerolls. So we do have 60k more. That's exactly enough to upgrade a Lino to a Bloodseeker. Or get both of the Corn Gores. So expensive. The 3 reroll build looked pretty clean, and then you add the blood spawn after 4 games, honestly. Like 160 is so much. It's got Frenzy too. Holy crap. It's insane. Like, I think, like, why you do have to ask yourself why you're playing Corn if you're not taking the blood spawn at the start. Like, the answer might be I'm trying to get the best win rate with Corn. But if you're trying to get the best win rate overall, it's probably not the right answer. That reminds me of, like, Blood Bowl 2, people saying, like, the best vampire start is, like, 2 vampires. Like, okay, but why are you playing vampires if you're only taking 2 vampires? Could be all 6 ogres. Could also just take the 3rd reroll. Stick with 2/2 on the other positionals. This team is insanely expensive, though. You have to leave so many of your positionals behind. Jimmy, the answer is somebody paid you to play Corn. I hope whoever did it pays you to take the big guy on the starting roster. The only way you'll ever play them. So this is one option. The 4 strength ones are pretty damn good. Optimizing the not frenzy seems reasonable too, though. So you can also do this. You can get all of them and just 2 the Bloodseekers. The Bloodseekers are the stars of the team, though? Yeah. 4 strength is big. I'm sad their agility is nerfed compared to Chaos Warriors. They still got 5 movement, though. Oh, the big guy's low armor, too. the Bloodspot's got the wild animal armor. Is that his negative trait? His fury. So it's not the one that beats up your buddies. The one that gets... It's a 4+ if he's not attacking. What about Apothecary for your big guy? It'll be fine. You have to make so many cuts. Like, you need to just start teams like this without the Apothecary on the ladder. And if the big guy dies, you just remake the team. You can't really do that in like a league where the other people in the league aren't going to just let you remake your team. Purple chest, you could have paid 10 pounds if Jimmy plays 50 games of Corn. I don't like that hourly rate. Jimmy's thinking more like 50 per. No star players get added. Not in my alpha build. Maybe they'll sneak them in, but it seems like no star players. Maybe a halfway through the season patch we'll get them. Hey, Dead Diablo. Late stream? Yeah. I've been having better luck streaming in 2 parts. Because I am still pretty sick with my fatigue I've had for years. But I had a really bad cold. My dad had pneumonia, and I caught whatever led to his pneumonia. Might have even been pneumonia that I had caught. But I was I was like sick for like 15 days. I barely streamed at all, and taken a while to get recovered. I think I might actually kind of be over it now. For the last week, I've had a bit of a cough. Today, I kind of feel all right though. But I couldn't get more than like 3 or 4 hours into a Blood Bowl stream. But I had the idea to just stream in 2 chunks, take a nap in between, and some recovery time actually does make a big difference. Is Bloodspawn mutation on primary? Yes, strength mutation primary. So giving him Juggernaut and then random mutations, maybe? Glad to hear him getting better. Thanks to Diablo. Hopefully time for the subathon. You had something like that back in March you caught in Sweden. Felt like a dog for over 3 weeks. Woof. Ironheart skin? It's not great armor though. It's only a 9+ armor. I think I like this build, but yeah, maybe this build is better. How do we get the other Bloodseeker? To reroll back. Oh, if you want 4 Bloodseekers, I don't think you get the big guy. Which might be better. Man, this team though, like 140, 250, 250 on every roll, 200. So 250 and another 120, 370, and this 420. You need 420 more gold to finish your Khorne team. Redrafting Khorne is going to be a nightmare. You to keep your blood spawn. Should get close to 1.3. I just listed more than 300,000 of things I want to buy. That's without any skills on the team. I did double pay for a reroll. Luckily, the Linos do explode a lot. Yeah, you do. As your Linos die, you do save half. You save 50k. So you can save 150k by deleting the Linos that these guys replace. Yeah, I think this is the build I'll do. I think this is the best way to get the blood spawn. The no big guy start looks pretty strong too. But it does seem to be ignoring the spirit of Khorne. That's so much frenzy. Oh my god. People are going to have such a hard time with Khorne. Like, that was tough building a new team. A new player coming in and trying to figure out what to do. And like the only template with the big guy was no rerolls. Imagine trying to play this much frenzy and no rerolls. Because a lot of people, if they just want to use a template, like they're going to want the big guy just like me. Convinced that Corn's a NAF team and only in the right rule set. I think they're like tier 4 in the arena. Remy confirmed that it's 20k after the first season. See, like that verbiage doesn't even tell me what I need to know. Like, this is an incomplete sentence. Remy confirmed 20k after the first season. You mean during the first redraft? On game 20, you have to pay an extra 20k for all of your players. That's part of why it's taken me so long to like actually get to the bottom of it with so many tabletop players here. Is because there's very imprecise ways to talk about it. So tabletop players have been saying it one way, and then people say it the opposite way later on when the first person's not here anymore. And so yes, my sample chaos team then is overpriced by 80k. So I have to put back 80k. I have to fire a reroll and the apothecary to keep this much. I have to fire the reroll in one of these skills. I already didn't want to play this chaos team in this rule set. And it just got worse. The ball carrier's a little bit fanciful. Oh, George, you say that the 2 strength 4 guys, but all of the non-frenzy works good for people in your community? You're really not redrafting very many players through with that tax, especially through multiple seasons. Dwarf season, have fun. Yeah. That's what they do in the UK BBL. After 2 seasons, everyone just sacks off the rerolls. You play some really rough games rehiring your rerolls. It would probably take like 2 games to get each reroll back too. Varies from league to league. Yours lets you use the treasury. That's kind of up in the air too. We don't know. We're assuming you don't get to use your treasury. If you get to use your treasury, it's fine. Like that's an extra 500,000 you just get to spend. That completely changes the game. Like especially with the concede rate. Like getting double money on wins when they concede it just gives you infinite money on Blood Bowl 3. Oh, the fans are free, so that does help rebuild the money. That is true. You'll gain money quicker post redraft than on a brand new team. What happens to your bank too? You just lose your entire bank, right? So it's not like you're ready to just rebuy your rerolls after one game. That's true. Leader would help. If you can carry a leader through the redraft, you can fire your rerolls a lot better. Like there is some gameplay here. Like I'm willing to give it the college try for sure. It's not what I would want without trying, but there is some puzzle solving. Like what's the best way? What are the best things to pull through in a redraft? I'm trying to craft your team so you can actually do that. Skaven redraft really well. Keep 1 or 2 gutter runners, your best Stormvermin. Yeah. I was thinking Underworld are going to redraft really well too. You just keep your 1 gutter runner, your 1 Stormvermin, and like Miscellaneous, whatever else can go with it. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Your bank becomes the 1.3 you spend to rehire. Well, you also get 40k for each win you've had, 30k for each draw, and 20k for each loss. So, like, 20 losses gives you your 1.3 million. So your bank is irrelevant. Your bank just gets deleted. Because you're already at the cap through the 20 losses. You get the tabletop redraft rules on the Discord. Once the redraft budget available has been worked out, the team can be redrafted. A few key players will be able to return to the pitch the new season. The others will find themselves unceremoniously dropped, replaced with eager rookies. Mm-hmm. Lore. Redraft budget's described on page 99. Oh, you can keep your cheerleaders. Dwarves can redraft and go wide, but other teams can just go tall with like 3 good players. Yeah, a big Khorne killer moving through might actually be kind of nice on the post redraft games, as long as you actually play somebody who's just after the redraft. That's what scares me too, is how tight is the matchmaker going to be? Because in a league setting, like in your local store, you do the redraft, and then you play against somebody who's also 0 games after redraft. Can the matchmaker do that for us? Are there enough people playing? Between 0 and 2 games is maybe okay. It does kind of suck. Like it sounds like after 1 game you get another reroll. So that's a pretty big difference after just 1 game. So if it's my first game post redraft and you're 5th, like you've recovered your reroll pain and I haven't. It kind of sucks. Mm-hmm. There's a meta of keeping players with SPP to skill. Yeah. Apparently after you do have to play a game without leveling them, but then you can just buy a bunch of skills. That does kind of suck too. Like, you playing tall is like you get like 2 or 3 high level players you carry forward, but then like you have to be planning to fire them. Like they only get to play the next season. Like at game 40, you have to fire them and have a different crew of level 4s that you're going to keep. Because if you keep a legend at that point, like the thing you kept last time has leveled more, and it's gotten its agent fee up to 40k. It's a double-edged, more expensive problem there. Lizards feel rough. All that effort getting up to block. Yeah, the 1 in 9 teams feel extra punished. So Chaos Lizards, Nurgle, a lot of my favorite teams. Yeah, I guess that's a problem with lizards too. Even after one redraft, you can maybe keep a bunch of block, but they all gained an extra 40k cost on second redraft. So like you almost need to not bring 6 sources through anyway, because you need 2 rookies that aren't going to be overpriced on the next one. You know, a halfling main who banks everything on one catcher who is double plus move, double agility, and double armor. Just redrafts it every time. 2+ is everything with 9 armor and 7 move. It's great. Good scoring threat, yep. Redraft better for teams that can only play 4 or 5 great with that can play with 4 or 5 great players, but also like teams like Dwarfs that or Norse where your linos are just done. Like you just already have block on your fresh players. You didn't need to keep them. They're fine when they're level 0, level 1. And there's also the question too that we brought up earlier that I think there's a lot of new people here is like, how are they going to do playoffs? Do you redraft into playoffs? So then playoffs is now run at this like horribly nerfed, nobody has rerolls team value? Or do you like, you almost have to do that, because if you don't do that, you're in a situation where half of the people in playoffs are going to be post redraft and half of them are going to be like 2 games before redraft. Do you make them redraft like in the quarterfinals? like just the one guy who like lined up his playoff run wrong? It seems like you're either running playoffs at this incredibly nerfed rate where like sprint playoffs with the sprint playoff creation rules are going to be more enticing than the ladder playoffs. Or it's just going to be a huge discrepancy because like everyone's going to target like being game 15 or whatever, so they don't have to redraft in the finals, whatever math that works out to. Or if it's just paused and nobody redrafts in the playoffs, then everyone's going to try to be on game 19 or 20. But like if I lose my game 18 and I'm not qualified anymore, I'm not going to abandon the team. I'm going to play one more game, almost get there, play one more game, qualify, and have to redraft. So, like, people will do that. So, like, half of the qualifying teams are going to be the ones that just kind of eked their way across the line, got up to number 1 lizards, and then, like, they have to do the redraft. I don't know how they're going to solve that problem. Like, I almost prefer it without redraft, but it creates that weird dynamic of like, well, if I play one more game after redraft, I'm not qualified. So, well, screw it. I'll redraft, and you just gobble up the invite and put a worthless team into the playoffs. Or like I have to play one more game even after redrafting. I'm like 2 games deep into my redraft, trying to play in the finals against, or the playoffs against optimized teams. You didn't cast any Chalice games for the first time in years? Yeah, I watched your YouTube video, Jimmy, when the embargo lifted. That stood out to me when you talked about how this was the first season you didn't care about the playoffs, and like I didn't qualify for playoffs and I didn't really mind, and yeah, I didn't follow it all either because like it was just some really weird rule set for making teams, and it wasn't the playoffs. It wasn't the team you qualified with. It just changed things so much. Back in Blood Bowl 2, everyone used to be so into the playoffs too. Like, even as somebody who didn't particularly go out of my way to watch it, like I would follow it vicariously because the community cared so much. Like, people would talk about it in my chat that like, oh, Rick's playing against a Renbad or whatever. It's going to be great. And even if I didn't get a chance to watch it, like I would know the result the next day. Yeah, we just never brought that through to Blood Bowl 3. You could also see 19 game teams against 39 game teams. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. 39 against 59 is fine. Because they've both done a redraft. They're 19 games post redraft, but the 19 game player is going to be much lower team value. If Andy and Kind Sir hadn't streamed them, you wouldn't have watched any of it either, BB-Nut. You would follow the agility teams every year. It was fun. I enjoyed following the stunty teams. when a stunty team would get through a few rounds, that would be epic. Yeah, players can be rehired by paying their current value as shown on the last season's team draft list, plus an agent fee of 28,000 gold. Yeah, pretty clear that is in place on the very first redraft. Bringing their injuries with them. Oh, if the player has any niggling injuries, roll a d6 for each, applying a +1 modifier to the dice roll if the team has an apothecary. On a roll of 4+, some rest and relaxation has worked wonders. The niggling injury you are rolling for is removed. On a roll of 1 through 3, not fully healed and it just stays. So it's just concussions you can fix. You can't fix strength bust. You do get to keep your star player points. Mm-hmm. Well, I thought you had to do like that little mini retirement thing. Like if on game 15 your gutter runner gets strength busted, you have to not play with a gutter runner for 5 more games, and then you could do the healing thing. I didn't realize the healing thing was a 50-50 too. We'll see how that gets implemented in Blood Bowl 3, if it's even here. Yeah, you get a 50-50 shot to clear each of the concussions. If you keep your apothecary, it is better than a 50-50. You get +1. That part is good. Okay, so you could do this for the concussions, but for strength busts, you do have to do that temporary retirement. Send them off to the farm to get better. Oh, you put the other one in. Redrafting temporarily retired players. After the player's been redrafted, roll a d6 for each characteristic reduction that has been suffered. Apply a +1 modifier if you get the apothecary. Yeah, same thing. 4+, they're fixed. Oh, but it leaves the mark. It switches the strength bust to a concussion. On a roll of it's still there. You roll for each injury separately. You get your fans for free. Though they will still affect a team's team value. Wait, I thought fans didn't affect a team's team value. Blood Bowl rules are great. Oh, you have to hire them back before you even know if they got better or not. It seems like such a negative experience. Yeah, if they failed, you paid for your strength busted guy and have to fire them, basically. And you had to, like, leave that position blank. You don't get to hire a new gutter runner on your underworld team. You have to play enough games to get to the redraft without the gutter runner, and then it's only a 50-50. Well, it's a 2 and 3 shot, assuming you keep the apothecary. So you just roll a 2, and you're just, like, you just wasted all of that time. Oof. Your 1 turn of strength, 1 armor 5 gutter runner would love to recover at the end of the season. But you're too bad at rolling. You get to roll individually for each of the armor busts and the strength bust. He's gonna come out of it with so many concussions, though. All right. Any other things anyone wants to see here in the new client? Anything in the shop? Ooh, can we see which teams are discounted? Ooh, 10 free Warpstone. Second anniversary pack. Wait, this is what's on the live client, I think. I'm pretty sure this is the one on the live client. Womp womp. The cosmetics for Khorne? Yeah, they just have the shop pointed to the live client. Man, look at this logo. They get the fattest shield. It's so fat. Chonky logo. All right, what do we got on the blood spawn here? Wait, I thought it used to show the available ones. There's a bunch of the blood pass. Oh, you know what? They're probably just not in the alpha build. Womp womp. Ooh, actually, I think I remember in Jimmy's video, in the new event, there's a decked out Khorne team. Oh, there you go. We found the cosmetics. Thank you, Jimmy, for showing this off. I can't go to the cosmetics page on him though. Why is one arm so much bigger than the other? He plays badminton. It's badminton arm. Oh, there's the legendary cosmetic. The decked out, whatever you call this. Bloodseeker. Call him Quagmire. Two legendaries. Three legendaries. This guy didn't get his legendary. He does have a different cosmetic though. He's got the skulls outfit. Is human a good fundamental team? I think a lot of people say humans is good for beginners. I think orcs are probably better. Like you want to start playing vampires though, so you wouldn't want to get used to having the high armor of orcs. I think dark elves are probably the best thing to practice with leading into vampires. Humans might be alright too. Get a mohawk. A friggin' bronze mohawk. Bronze Degley skulls. Looks like truck nuts. Well, that's our court and cosmetics. Anyone else have a request for what to see in the alpha client? We've gone over the arena rules a couple times. We can go back if there's somebody new here who hasn't seen anything, though. Don't worry about being selfish. I'm here to help you guys. Or in a team for those who like Mad Max cosplays. The theming of court is pretty sweet. It's a good team to get added. Is it a good team to add during the redraft season? I remember they added Wood Elves during the lowest team value cap, and it was just like so bad for Wood Elves. Because Wood Elves are also really expensive, like Cord. It does feel like you're going to have to hire an awful lot of linemen when you do the Corn redraft. But Corn might be pretty good with a few super strong players, too. Random generals on the Frenzy dudes might end up being reasonably good. There wouldn't be a worse team to add during redraft season. There aren't that many teams left, though. Is there like an efficient team left they could have added instead? We need vampires. We need a bunch of stunties. So yeah, a stunty team actually is probably would have been better. Redraft season with 2 more stunties. I'd love to see them add the last 3 stunties all at once. Ogres, gnomes, and snotlings. That or start giving us a non-stunty team with a stunty team for like the next 3 seasons. Yeah, ogres would be fine for redrafts. We still need chorfs, but I don't know if they're cheap. Ogres were counted as stunty back in Blood Bowl 2. They were grouped in with halflings and goblins. Vampires were like an honorary mention stunty team. The Corn linemen will cycle themselves for us. They're solo armor. Chorfs do not redraft well. Not surprised to hear it. The skilled ogres will get expensive fast, yeah. The Chorfs just don't do anything well anymore. Sadness. Halflings, just redraft the trees. We already have halflings, though, but that makes me think that you could just redraft the pump wagons. Do gnomes get 2 trees? Yeah, Khemri need a team of legends as well as high elves. So we won't get them on Blood Bowl 3. Like they'll be the last 2 teams added to Blood Bowl 3 after they get their teams of legends. The gnomes do get 2 trees, so yeah. Gnomes would have been good in redraft season 2. Gnomes redraft the Beastmen and the Illusionists, yeah. Foxes are great at rookie. It's going to be interesting. Going to be interesting. Any idea when we'll get the new reworks? I have no clue. It's been a while since they did the Chorf one. I don't know what pace they were on, though. Like, is it once a year? I don't know if they're a year away from when they did Chorfs. Maybe there's something secret I can find here poking around. Oh, Eternal League. Anyone care about the Eternal League? Welcome to the Eternal League. You start out in the rookie conference and work your way up until you win the Blood Bowl. Complete against legendary teams, fill your trophy case, and discover unique competitions. There's achievements to unlock. Blood Bowl Cup. You have to play a lot of Blood Bowl to progress through that many games. Holy crap. The Eternal League. The same pop-up. I guess you have to play 3 games. And then a playoff. So like 12 games to beat it. Oh, we didn't look at quests. Are the quests in the preview build? Win 3 games in the community event, win 3 games in the official ladder, score 6 total touchdowns. Win 3 matches in official competition with humans, Amazons, or Dark Elves. Yeah, Eternal League is the single player. It's getting added this patch too. It's arguably the big feature of this patch. Some skull-ridden arena rewards. Or an arena dice. There's the 7-win Corn banner. The Demon of Corn. What do we got in the community event? Complete a match for fresh meat. Complete 5 matches for some dice. Ooh, a nice skull ball. Can't have enough skull balls. We already have a couple skull balls. 4 skull balls. It's like a hollowed out football with 2 skulls in it. 10 matches for a very loud border. And a win 20. There's a win 20 again. Not sure if I'll go for that. What is arena mode? Arena mode is one of the better ways to play Blood Bowl, especially if you come from like a tabletop tournament background. So your goal with arena is to get 7 wins before you lose twice or draw 3 times. You do a pre-made team. It's a resurrection format. These are the rules for team creation. So the teams are tiered as well, so you can actually kind of play any team you want. You get to add skills. You start with this much cash, and then you get to add a buttload of skills depending on your tier. There's a few rules. No secondary skills. Oh, wait, no. This is a new rule, actually. Secondary skills can be replaced by a primary skill. You can just take another block. You can take inducements, but not wizard. He's banned. No skill stacking. You can't put 2 skills on one player. No randoms, no characteristics. And a bunch of the stars are banned. But the stars are only available for tier 6. Black Orcs, Goblins, and Halflings. So the rule set would look very familiar to tabletop tournament players. This is what most tabletop tournaments use, a similar rule set. I think I actually heard that some tabletop communities were even shifting over to just match Blood Bowl 3, so you could actually just practice on Blood Bowl 3. Even though it might not be the perfect rule set, there is an added benefit to just matching the existing one. And then the prizes for it are those quests I was just looking at. So in the arena prizes, this season you can get this stuff. Get a 7 win, you get up to the dice. And a banner. Wait. That's 7 wins, no draws or defeats. 7-0-0 to get that banner. That's a big ask. That is a big ask. Is there a perfect rule set? No. A consistent rule set does get a lot of bonus points. And then you also get, you can get the champion of each faction for just getting 7 wins with each individual faction. So there's some nice prizes to chase in the arena. I'd like to see more prizes. Like an arena run is very common in card games. The draft mode is often then you just do an arena run trying to get your X wins before Y losses. But those systems are almost always like gambling. So I would love to see the Blood Bowl arena shift at some point to be like you pay 50 Warpstone to join an arena run. And then if you get to a certain threshold, like you get your Warpstone back, so you can go infinite in them. And additionally, you get like loot box rewards. So you would get like a random epic cosmetic if you got up to 4 wins, and you get a random legendary if you did get 7 wins. Obviously, like there would be a lot of design work that would need to go into actually pricing everything out. But Hearthstone set up so that like you get packs when you get even 0 wins, you get a pack. So it's like 150 gold to join a Hearthstone arena. A pack costs 100 gold. So if you lose out and don't get any wins, you do not get your value back. But at like 3 wins, you gain more value than like what you would have spent the gold on. And at like 7 out of 12 wins in Hearthstone, you get enough gold in the prizes to join another arena run, and you can go infinite. And like you get a legendary card if you get a perfect run. So arenas have a lot of potential. A lot of people enjoy them quite a bit as they are. I'd love to see more prizes. And a lot of games will do like a free mode and a gambler mode. So if you don't want to gamble, there's still a free mode where you could hunt like the achievements. Burr, 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 burr. How well do 12 cheerleaders works redraft? Cheerleader wars. Man, the season where I was at the top of the ladder with 12 cheerleaders was sweet. I have not been able to repeat that kind of success, though. That was before I got really sick. There's a lot more brain farts these days than there used to be. I think I might be better at Blood Bowl strategically, but yeah, concentration not as good. Which is Blackworks? Blackwork in the arena, Blackworks got put into the bottom tier. Blackworks are super strong on the arena this season. You actually get a star player. So you could take the Black Gobbo, you could take Vrarg, you could take Ripper. Is Ripper banned? No, Ripper's not banned. Oh, Creek is banned now. You can't take Creek. They actually just reworked the Hearthstone arenas last month. Really? There's now a 5-win or 2 losses mode with MMR matchmaking. Ooh. Or the 12 wins or 3 losses mode that you need to unlock with record-based matchmaking. Oh. So you start with just the 5-win mode. If you do well enough, you can get into the 12-win mode. Fun. Early access? Yeah, I'm Apache. I'm on the alpha server, which they let us go public with today. I got patch notes too if you want them. They are kind of internal patch notes, so they might be slightly different from what actually gets published. But I'm sure that the bulk of it will be the same. The big stuff has got to be in there. The time is a pain from what you've been seeing. I've been struggling with the clock, but most people are fine with it. I think if you're new to Blood Bowl 3, you'll probably end up with some time troubles as you kind of adjust and get your internal chronometer going well for when you actually have to start acting. A good rule of thumb, though, is if you hear the tick, tick, tick that you've run out of time, your 2-minute turn timer, immediately start doing stuff. Like, don't spend any of your 7.5 minute time bank on thinking. Use your entire 7.5 minutes of the deep bank on like animations and clicking. And then once you're a little more settled with the Blood Bowl 3 system, you'll be able to kind of get that intuition for like, oh, I'm in the time bank, but this is an important turn. I'm going to spend 2 minutes. I'm not very good at that. I spend too much time early in the game and end up without any time left. How's the redraft work? Every 20 games, you drop back down to 1.3 million. Which is not a lot. Because you also have to pay an extra 20k for every player you keep. So it's kind of rough. First pick of the draft is legendary. And it comes with 3 linked cards. Interesting. So everyone's deck is just way better. Yeah. I was playing after they changed it to you always get a legendary your first pick and you never get a second legendary. Because way back when Hearthstone first came out, it was just a long shot to get a legendary. So it was just random and some people get 2. But they had changed it to everyone starts with a legendary and no chance at a second legendary. Which I didn't like a lot. I felt like that raised the power level of decks too much. Nope, the redraft's on the ladder. It's available for private leagues, but it's on the ladder too. So we went back into the... So when you set up your own competition, so it is there for private leagues, there's a whole redraft section. You can fire the redraft whenever you want. You can set it to redraft after a certain number of games. But on the ladder, it's going to be after 20 games. You drop that back down to 1.3 million. And you have to buy your rerolls. Well, you have to pay for your rerolls. You actually don't have to buy your rerolls. We played against a guy who had Prince Malchezaar and his 3 linked cards for 3 more Prince Malchezaars. I don't know what Prince Malchezaar does. It does not sound pleasant, though. He started the game by shuffling 20 more legendaries into his deck. Oh, well, now I know what Prince Malchezaar does. I was going to Google it. Shuffle a bunch of legendaries into your deck. Yeah, I could show off the private league one. We actually made a league. I tried doing a redraft, but it didn't work. Because I didn't get my 1.3. The 1.3 is a maximum. You have to actually play games to earn the spending money. But we can look at the parameters here. So you can just start the redraft. You can set the limit. You can set unlimited. And number of matches before redraft. 0. Wait, what would 0 do? Oh yeah, Cyanide Studio says there in chat too. They're going to put more details about the redraft out. Yeah, that was confirmed earlier too by another one of the devs that they are. The redraft info is a little bit light in the patch notes, but there's going to be like a whole separate helper article about it.
I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole.
You sent in an idea for a Black Orc team? Nice. Late stream for me? Yeah, I gotta head to bed soon. Coming up at 9 o'clock. I'm old. As I got older, I actually moved towards a more normal sleep schedule. Hey, J Hoodie. Page After Dark. Yeah, I sleep a lot with my mystery illness too that the doctors haven't figured out. Lots of naps. That was Read After Work, says comment. I don't know if he's been in chat. They are putting out basically fire most of Oh, there's Tom Tech's Blood Spawn. I tried to rotate it. That's not how cameras work. Idea for a Black Orc build? What did you come up with? The Black Gobbo. This is the spot to run the Black Gobbo if you've been waiting to do that. You can actually throw some bombs. You can stab. You can sneaky get Dirty Player. Is it Dirty Player? No, I guess it's not Dirty Player. It's just sneaky get. Guard. I don't know if guard is the way I would go. Mighty blow. Didn't work out well for me in Worlds though. All you had to give up was one of the Black Orcs. That's not too bad. Get the star player. All right. If anyone else has any requests for what to poke around with in here, I will do it. But if not, I'm going to wrap the stream up, I think. Last time I went, maybe we just poke around, we'll find something. I did find the quest. Any new manager levels? Nope. The 7-0-0 arena achievement is going to be one of the most exclusive ones, I think. It's only up for the season, too. All right, let's wrap her up. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Let's roll the credits. I may do a surprise stream at some point on the weekend, but probably not. But I might try to get my last Amazon game in like the prime time, so we can actually find a good opponent. Because if we get enough SR from a win, it might qualify for the sprints. But I might leave that for Monday. And of course, the subathon's coming up on Tuesday. We actually get to play against people with the Corrin client. Have a great night, everybody. I'm gonna send you off Runbad's way. Cheers, everyone.